Okay. Apologize. I just started the recording late, but we have a quorum on the board with myself, Nash, Tara, Drew, and Joe, and Tracy representing property management. It was 7:30 p.m. when we started, and we will now look to approve the prior minutes from 2/26. Do we have any comments to the minutes? Okay. Another motion to approve. Drew motions to approve. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Before we go any further, John, I'd just like to say something. Because I promise transparency. I promise transparency and accountability. So what I want to say to everybody here and online, that this has been a somewhat difficult transition. However, we plan to work together and make things happen moving forward. So I would like to take accountability for myself and apologize to the board members here. I would first like to apologize if I offended anybody, if I've said anything to anyone that was offensive. I just want to take accountability for my actions. So I want to apologize to Joe and his wife, Kat. I would like to apologize to Drew Monahan and his wife, Sarah. I would like to apologize to John and Nash. So if there's anything that I have done or said, I just want to take accountability for that, and I want to be able to work together and honestly move forward. And I feel like calling you or saying it on the phone or texting, that was not the right way. So I just think in the open forum, I wanted to be able to do that.
Okay, Tara, does this affect item 3C on the agenda?
3C. What's the 3C?
The last meeting.
No, I mean, it's that I'm just saying for myself.
So
this is for me. This is for myself.
Okay. Thank you. Good. Okay, then we'll continue in the current order of business. It's a long one. We start with a big one. Organization of committees on this. And
on your existing list, Peter Schneider did confirm on the improvement and maintenance committee.
Non, maman, elle écoute ça, là. Maman fait son meeting.
okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody for now. Was that a question for the board that just came up? No. Okay. If you need to speak, go ahead and bring it up in the chat, and then wait till we call on you and you can unmute your phone. That's probably the best way to handle it. So if you could all just keep yourselves muted for now. This worked fine yesterday. All right, well, we'll just try to get it work this way because I can't find that top tool now. Okay, organization of committees, page 4 and 5. Let me get to that. Do we all have copies of this, or is this what we're doing digital? This is digital, right?
Yeah, only Drew and Joe requested.
Okay.
You guys need a copy?
No, I'm good. I'm digital.
Got it, Nash?
If you have one. Do you have one?
Yeah.
That would be great.
So I have it both.
Here, I think I just found it. Sorry, I just found it. I got it. Sure. I got it digital. Yeah, I did. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about, looking at the people that volunteered for these committees, we have a lot of people that volunteered for more than one, and I would like to propose to be inclusive of more in the community, that we limit the number of committees that a particular resident would join, just to allow more space. Can I discuss that with the board? What do you guys think about that?
That's fair. Yeah.
Is one a good number to hold people to?
What do you?
Meaning one person per committee.
One person can only be on one committee.
One person can only serve on one committee.
But what if you have people that may not be able to make it? And then
No, 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 I'm sorry. The committee is going to be made up of a bunch of people. So
Oh,
I'm saying any one individual would only volunteer on one committee. So we have room on those committees for more people to volunteer.
So I couldn't be on two committees.
Right. I'm saying one, someone said two,
You mean resident, Joe? not-
residents,
Residents.
yeah. Yeah,
oh, okay.
yeah, Joe, you have carte blanche, Joe.
Two is fine. I think two is great. Two would be, I mean, I don't know.
I can go with two.
I could go with two.
I think two, because some of the committees, not as time commitment.
Right.
Like, for example, the welcome committee.
Yeah.
It's when somebody moves in.
Well, then you're not gonna have one person, a resident just on that.
So it may be two,
Let's go
two
with two.
people? Two.
About any resident can be on a maximum of two
Two,
committees.
yeah. I think that,
Would give more people.
If we have a people shortage,
Then we'll rethink it. I hope we don't. We've had so many names
yeah,
submitted.
It's a happy problem.
you have some feedback.
Okay, all right, so record that we're gonna have each resident maximum of two committees until further notice. Okay, so the welcome committee has right now 7 people volunteered for that.
When you say volunteer, that doesn't include the board members, because I know Drew and I are on that.
Correct, this is just residents,
Just resident.
just
Okay.
residents, yeah, correct.
So clarification, John, so you have one board member per committee, right? To-
Minimum, right?
Yeah.
We could have 2.
Okay.
Right, just like oversee or kind of guide and help report back to the board.
Right, yeah, the board member is responsible for reporting back to the board. This is what happens in the committee. Correct,
John,
yeah, sure. Hi.
that's not in your rules.
Where,
That's not in the rules.
which
In the
part?
rules, it's the committee's responsibility to report to the board, but the only one that requires a board member is the ARB requires to report to the board, but there's, except for the welcome committee, that's the only one that requires a board member.
We're going to set it up so that there is at least one board member on every committee, though. We've
So that's
talked about
a
that.
rule change?
you need to make a motion to change the rule.
I don't think it's on rule change.
It's not a
Well,
rule
all-
change, it's
all-
just,
all
it's just
committees
procedure.
Serve at the disposal of the
At-
board.
It's not a
at
rule
the
change.
preference.
The rule doesn't say there could be no board member on a committee,
No, that's
We're just
true.
saying
It
there's
does
gonna
say
be
that
one.
it's made up of members.
and board members are members too. We're just saying that's just a policy, it's not a change.
Okay,
I'm not trying to change anything.
okay,
It's just to make things work smoothly. That's all.
okay.
Oh, sorry, I blocked you there. All right. Okay, when we talk about ARB, when we get to that, okay? Because I got your message on that.
Has you published a list of the committees and what their responsibilities are, so that people could look at that and see if they want to serve?
There was, in the announcement that Tracy sent, there was a brief description of what that committee does, in hopes that people would look it over and see what they liked and sign up for the committees. Yeah, there wasn't a charter, a full charter.
So what was it?
There was a description.
It was one of the email blasts.
It was the one that,
Sent Actually, right after the board meeting.
So what is, like, I'm a this community, but I didn't get an email. So I'm not on
Do
the
you
list.
have access to the portal?
Yeah.
Go on it. You should be able to have a login or shoot me an email.
But that's, okay, we're talking about having had a list in advance.
Mhm.
See, I don't know what committees have been established.
okay,
There was
no,
a discussion.
what Tracy's
General
saying is,
discussion
if your
last-
email, what Tracy's saying is if your email is in the portal, you should be on the list to get all the messages from Tracy.
No, okay, so then my email is not.
Okay, then either you or your daughter just shoot me an email to add it to the profile and you'll get copies of all the emails.
Do we need to, would that help if we found that and read it before each committee right now?
Sorry.
Would it help to read the description for each committee right now before we?
Maybe you should let him know that he's
Did it?
sandwiched in between the sheriff and training. persons for Secret Service, police, etc.
Okay, I'm thinking that's something
That-
else.
being monitored.
That was somebody I just muted. No worries. I just wanted to listen to make sure it wasn't intended for us. Oh, you know what? Here's how I can mute people. Sorry. I'm going to
Be
just,
careful when you mute everyone, you might mute yourself.
yeah, I'm doing it individually now. Everybody's in there. Okay, we're good. Was that a yes? I'm sorry, I got interrupted there. To read the description?
That might be it.
Read, you know, want to start off with the welcome committee?
I just need to,
I guess.
you have it right there?
I mean, I can read it off you.
Yeah, well, let's just read it.
For the welcome committee, I have Andrea, don't kill me on pronunciations.
No, not the people, the description of what the welcome committee does.
Okay, so the welcome committee is a meet and greet new residents along with board members to familiarize them with the community and surrounding area. Review community schedules, amenities, and standards to ease the transition. And there's the improvement and maintenance committee. This will include the entrance project, maintenance, and other
Well, let's just
improvements.
do one at a time when we go through welcome.
You got it.
Just to make it easier. Thanks. Okay, so volunteers were Andrea Rolanda, Kathleen McCarthy, Harold or Tangela Cummings. Do we know who that's going to be?
For
Welcome.
the welcome committee, and then we have one coming up soon, so
Friday.
I guess how many,
I mean,
like,
it
out of
says,
that, how
it says
many?
Harold or Tangela. I just want to narrow it down. We'll
Okay,
get you a Cummings.
so it's Drew and I there, but how many people do we actually need? I guess the first people to respond?
You know, the
to-
committee's going to have to figure that out. right?
Okay,
Let them figure that out. You don't need 7 people showing up, right?
correct,
But we need who can make it. Yeah.
okay.
So I was just wondering if I can, I don't see, it says Harold or Tangi here. But we don't know which one wants this committee and which one wants the other committee. Both?
Yeah, if it's listing Harold and Tangela.
That means
The
they both signed
direction
up?
was for both of them. That's why I
Oh,
put on
okay.
there, only one can serve at a time.
Well, that's why I said I thought you meant one or the other. I misunderstood.
Well, if Harold is present, Tangela can't be
Oh, only one will serve for that particular welcome. Is that what you mean?
at a time.
Yeah, okay, gotcha, fine, okay. So Octavia McDougal,
I'm going to come off that committee if I can only serve on 2.
okay, so remove Octavia. Is someone keeping notes? Are you taking notes on that?
Mhm.
Okay, so remove Octavia from welcome. Reshmi Turmal is on the committee. Candace Alston. Candace, I know you had an interest in another committee as well. Is Candace here? I don't know Candace. No?
She's not present.
Okay,
She might be online.
so we'll keep her, she's not online.
I'm only aware her response of the welcome committee.
No, she also has communications.
John, she contacted me and said she wanted to serve on communications with me.
Oh, she's on there. Yep, sorry.
Well, she can serve on 2, so communications and welcome, do you think? Octavia?
Okay. Okay.
That's the only other one she's volunteered for, so she's fine with those 2.
Okay.
Okay, she says Vienna Freeman. Anyone know Vienna? Vienna's not here?
She's on there.
Okay, and Vienna Freeman. Anybody else want to volunteer for welcome while it's open?
I will.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I want to see what's going on, meet new people.
All right.
John, just here, we have one this Friday. Right, we said, what was it, 11?
Do you have certain training you need to do when you have the welcome community, or do you, Tracy, do you kind of run through it and everybody's there to like chip in and do their thing?
Usually, it's usually if there's not 2 board members that are available, it's an alternate. It's usually the board that goes over everything. And I'll kind of
Okay,
chime in. And
so the residents don't need training ahead of time, so how many residents do you need for this one coming up to join you? 2 more?
I would like 2 more.
So a total of 4?
We have 2.
Yeah.
Give different looks.
That
different-
sounds good. I like
Their
that.
own impression of the community, their own experiences.
All right.
Be nice.
So it's the 14th, the meeting?
Yeah.
Where?
Right at the west gates.
At what time?
11.
I could do
All right, so we got Phyllis,
that. Mhm.
Drew,
And Tara and I.
And Tara?
Yeah.
and who's the fourth?
Why don't we announce, once we finalize it, we can announce to everybody? And then start putting them on that email list that Tracy sends out.
Okay, so that's a lot of people on the welcome, so we'll always have people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, because you never know. People's schedules are tight, right? So it's
Okay. I mean, the goal is for these committees to kind of govern themselves, figure out who's going to do what, right? So that'll be fine. Okay, so that closes the welcome committee, and you guys will find a fourth to join you off your list. Perfect. Next committee is, oh, I'm sorry, I do have the description right here. It's on the same sheet. Okay, I'll read it. Thanks. Why don't you mention that, Nash? You're reading the same sheet I am. The next committee is the Improvement and Maintenance Committee. This will include the entrance project, maintenance, and other improvement recommendations for the board's consideration. In addition to the board, members will provide recommendations, resources, and pertinent information to any particular project. Okay? We have 4 people on here now. John, oh, Peter, right. John Kinn, Anna Perez, staying on, yes. Jean Lafrancois, sorry, probably Schwa. Anybody? No? No? And Harold and Tangi Cummings. And Peter Schneider, which was a valuable addition since he did a lot of the work on the last time around. So that's good. So any other additions from the room or online that wish to be a part of the Improvement and Maintenance Committee?
Did you get on the Joe?
We got Drew. Drew, any other board members with you?
I was on the floor list. No,
As long as only 2 of you show up at any one time. I mean, I want to be involved too, but obviously we can't all meet together.
That's fine. I mean, we can all get on there and just.
Yeah.
Talk and stuff.
Tara, you're staying on the welcome committee, right?
Yes.
I want to be involved in that committee, Natalie Figures. I think I had submitted I had submitted my name for the welcome committee. I'm not sure if you guys have received that, but that's fine. But I would love to be involved in the maintenance committee.
Okay, so Natalie, you want the welcome and maintenance?
No, no welcome. I want violations and I also want maintenance.
Okay, good. Okay, but not welcome then, correct? Because we're only
Yes, not
allowing 2.
welcome. Yes, not welcome.
Yeah, I didn't
then
have you
if-
down anyway.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Hearings.
Okay,
John, there was a neighbor that sent me a message on WhatsApp that said that he wanted to be on that project. His name was Nick. I can't remember his last name. He said I told him to reach out to Tracy, but he said he wanted to be on that committee and also the violation committee.
What's the last name?
He has a restoration company and he's familiar with, God, I can't remember his last name. Hold on.
do you have a way to find out what Nick that was?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I'm just gonna look right now and see if I can find his name. Hold on.
There's a Mick.
Is
it, Octavia, is it Trevetti? Does that sound familiar?
No, that wasn't his name. Hold on, I'm gonna find it for you right now. I'll just put it in the chat once I find it. I don't want to slow you guys down on your meeting. So I'll just,
Yeah, I haven't seen one chat message from anybody. I just want to make sure this is working. So I'll see it when I get to it. Here we go. There are messages. It just showed up. Let me just check the messages and see what's here. Okay, now I'm seeing messages.
okay, what is his last name? Nick.
Okay, all right, everything's working. All right, so Octavia, just put it in the chat.
Okay,
Or if you don't hear me acknowledge it, then
okay.
come back later. All right, thank you. Okay, that's one that could probably use more people, so hopefully Nick can be found on that one. Okay, finishing with improvement and maintenance. Now we're getting to Rules and Policies Committee. On this paper, we have Harold and Tangi again.
Octavia.
They're already on two. Harold and Tangi.
Oh.
So let's try to, it's
Well,
not a lot of people on this though right now, so that's a problem. We have Octavia. Octavia, you're staying on rules and policies? No,
Yes,
you've got
rules and,
communications.
yes,
Yes.
rules. Mhm.
Okay, good. Vivek Termal? I don't see him on the chat, but his name's here, so it remains. And Lou Scott.
I can
And
go
I'll
on
do
there.
rules and policies too instead of violations, because I think that's more important for me.
John, that was the one I volunteered for.
Oh, you're not, oh, she's not.
Oh, I have
That
my
was
notes
the
on.
one I sent you the text on.
Okay.
Yes, and it was also said in the meeting chat, I think, that we missed.
Yeah, it was said in the room.
Yeah, there was a couple that were missed in the chat, and I wrote down where those were, but it's good you're here to do that.
I only got that one portion of the chat. I didn't get the entire chat.
Oh, you could have scrolled on it
Oh, no, I.
while you're
couldn't
playing the
scroll
recording.
down. Oh.
While you're
okay.
playing the
You
recording, you
open
can
it.
scroll the whole thing.
So
which I did.
Sherry, was that Natalie that wanted to be on this?
Natalie wanted to be on it
Instead
too.
of the CCR?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And Octavia, you're on this one or not on this one?
I was an alternate if needed. Is that the violation or rules? Which one are you on?
Rules.
Rules and
Oh,
policies.
I'm on rules with Sherry, right? Is that the one Sherry's on?
Yeah, but I think she really wanted to be on communications.
Yeah, you definitely want to be on communications.
She's on.
Yeah, I just want to be on communications and rules.
Okay, that's
Just
what you
those
got
two.
there. You're good
Okay.
because you dropped off a welcome, so you're good.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, I backed up. It was my fault. So we
no
have
problem.
Lou, Vivek, Octavia, Sherry, and Harold or Tangela,
Okay, I
And
can,
Natalie.
and Natalie. Sorry, thank you.
you can put me on there if you need, like,
Are we listing board
The chair.
members here now as part of this?
May as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So far,
That's
we
fine.
have been.
All right, good. Okay, so Tara's leading that. That's fine. In maintenance, we already went through Drew, Joe, and myself, or Drew, Joe, and myself will be on there with, I think Drew would be the lead chair on that. All right, you got that, Tracy? Drew's the
Yep.
lead chair on that one?
And is it still Tara and Drew on the welcome committee?
Yes, that didn't change. Yep.
There seemed to be a lot of interest by Attorney Ann Perez.
She's behind you.
yeah.
She's right behind us.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
I was gonna volunteer you for this committee.
No thanks on the rules.
Just gonna take a minute and say how well this Zoom is working with the speakers now, finally, in the 11th hour. I'm impressed. Okay, so improvement, maintenance done, rules is now done, correct? We're closing that. We have a finance committee next, which is to review budgets and financials along with the treasurer, which is Nosh, for recommendation to the board on projects, cost controls, and financial goals.
Yeah, I'd like to be on that committee.
All right, I'm sorry, you are,
Isidore Rivas.
Isidore.
there you are. Reading glasses, my bad. That's right, you did mention that to me also, Isidore.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's not on there.
Okay, so we have Anna Perez, Terry Wilburn, Deborah Joyce, and Anne Marie Labonta,
And then Isidore.
and Isidore. And the chair of that is Nosh. And I can be on that as well. Okay, that one closes that one. The next one is the fun one, the party people, communication and social. This will handle communications, event and activity planning for board consideration to foster interaction and engagement within the community. Ensure residents are informed about news, changes, and updates within the community by actively disseminating information through various channels like newsletters, websites, media updates, and community meetings. Okay. So on this one, we have Harold and Tangela. Anybody know about that? I mean, that's 4 for them right now, right? I think we got to limit that.
Well, 2 apiece.
If I could, can you,
lot.
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me, John?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Oh, great. I
Deborah?
put it in the, thank you. I put it in the chat, but maybe it's not showing up. I wanted to volunteer for social community, please.
Yes, that's fine. We got you. I do see the chat. I just wasn't looking at it. Yes.
That's okay. You're doing a great job. I love the Groucho Marx, when you get whoever's doing that sound. Do you guys not hear it? Periodically, when somebody says something right after you comment, a little noise happens. It's like from the Marx Brothers.
No, I can't hear it. I didn't hear it. Must only be on your end.
Well, it was entertaining. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
John,
That was
Deborah Mulligan?
Deborah Mulligan. Okay, so on communications, we got to make it, Harold and Tangi can't serve on that many committees, just to limit it. Does anybody know which 2 they want to serve on? Either welcome, rules. I think we have a lot on welcome. Why don't we just kindly ask them to withdraw from welcome? And unless somebody knows otherwise, and keep them on rules and social? Anyone think that's not a bad idea? All right, so that'll be tentative, Tracy, and can you reach out and explain that to them? Thank you. Because you're gonna also have to do it on the CCR coming up. So we have Octavia on communication, Reshmi Termal, Candace Alston, Jamina Brutus, Natasha Joseph. I don't think I know Natasha. Is Natasha here?
You know, you met her before,
She's not here.
but she's not here. No,
Okay.
she's not here.
And Ronit Scherer,
Renee.
Renit Scherer,
Deborah Mulligan.
and Deborah Mulligan, correct.
It's a big committee.
It's a lot of people, but it could be a lot of work. I can kind of moderate that for the board member. It's fine. Okay, that closes communication and social. One question for Octavia, since you're still not muted, I see. Are you going ahead with the March 15th block party?
I don't know. I guess that's up to you guys. I'm always ready for a party. You know that.
I think sooner rather than
I
later.
think it's up to the rest of the committee if we're gonna, it's probably a little short notice now, but I mean, if it was just a get together, that's fine.
Do you want to put something, what's?
Why don't, Octavia, why don't you just pull your people and see if we can pull together a little evening thing in your cul-de-sac there.
On the 5th, I would love to do that. That would be great.
Do we get a budget or?
Yeah, we're gonna have to set up a budget.
Everybody could bring stuff.
You
Yeah,
can
but
bring
we can
stuff.
do it.
Potluck.
We can do a budget. Well, we could do a potluck. We'll,
I think if you've got to get, to look at that to see what it is. Maybe a
Octavia,
little
what
bit
kind of budget would you want for that?
Originally, it was a meet and greet so that, the community could come out and meet all the board members and to celebrate, just, an exciting new beginning. I would probably say no more than $500. I mean, all we need is maybe some food and a couple of little drinks. It's short notice. If we had more time to plan like a real block party, then we would have tried to, maybe get some food trucks and have a big community fun day. But since it's short notice, I mean, I think if it's going to be just something in a cul-de-sac, then maybe a little barbecue or something in the afternoon or a potluck is fine.
Yeah, hold on just a minute. Can the 5 board members make it to first cul-de-sac on the right, 47th
I can
west
be there.
entrance? The 15th?
Saturday?
Yeah.
I'll be there.
So this is Deborah. Whatever you want to do is great. It's short notice. And I'm just remembering, I actually offered not long ago, Tracy will remember, I offered to pay myself the requirements for 3 food trucks and have them just in front of my house and across from the cul-de-sac. And there was a little boy that presented to the prior board this wonderful idea of, there's some really cool cars in our community, and he wanted the cars to be down that cul-de-sac for people to look at these really neat collector items that we have here. But I was told, and I think the board needs to check, I was told that it would be a problem having food trucks because there needs to be a way to go to the bathroom and so on. And, you know, I thought that didn't make sense to me. If you live here, you can go to your own house for a bathroom. I don't know. But I don't know. I was shot down on that because of some kind of rules about food trucks in our community. So again, if you clear it, I'm happy to do it. I don't think it'll work on the 15th because that's too short to get a hold of people. But I have a friend in Tall Pines that does it all the time. And I have access to those people if we're given a little bit of a heads up and you clear that there's no problem.
Yeah, well, it's clearly not for the 15th. So let's table the food trucks idea and let the committee talk about that.
I'd recommend you talking to your attorney.
And we'll figure that out if we need a porta potty or whatever for a larger event.
as well.
We've done large block parties
Budgetary
before, and I think there was a
requirements.
porta potty there a long time ago on 77th, but I can't remember. But yeah, for now, I mean, I don't think we just want to pull a surprise $500 without thinking about it more. Why don't we
Why
just-
don't we just suggest something to do in the park between the 2 gates? That has a bathroom there. And that has parking also.
Didn't you have to drive over there?
Okay, well, I mean, it's right out the gate.
Well, you gotta drive anyway if you live
There
on.
You gotta
need a
drive
permit as
anyways.
well.
What?
You would need a permit.
Yeah. we'll see.
I think the purpose of this one, Nosh, was more of like a unity for the
Okay.
binding of the old and the new board together and just kind of
No, I'm
like,
just saying going ahead.
All
oh,
right,
yeah.
Octavia, here's an idea just for the board. I will donate hot dogs and Polish sausage or something like that. And if Naughty will donate their grill,
Right.
we can do it right in the cul-de-sac. And
Because
she had
your
volunteered
cul-de-sac
that
is the
before, and let's not do a budget. Just everyone can bring their own drinks, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing suggestions out for your committee to fine tune. All right? But the 15th is a Saturday. It's before Nosh leaves town, and everyone can make it so far. So let's just do that just to get something. No
Yeah.
big expectations, no food trucks. All right?
All
Sound
right,
good?
that sounds good. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Task 1.
That's a big first step for us all.
Let's let them figure the time.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
That
them
probably
is you,
needs to go
right?
out by like yesterday. Octavia.
Yeah, you're already late getting the notice out. So Tara says you're late with the notice. She's muted. Okay, communications and social is done. And, you know, there's nothing that says people can't join these committees later. As people find out about it, want to get involved, I'm sure we're going to get people to volunteer for this stuff, right? Next committee on here is CCR. We have Deborah Mulligan, Vivek Turmal, CCR, oh, sorry, is violations hearings, oversee enforcement of the covenants and restrictions, attend grievance hearings to confirm or reject the fine or suspension levied by the board. Okay. How many times did this meet in 2024, Tracy?
We did not meet in 2020, it's gonna meet
Okay,
2023, maybe once, twice.
okay. But we're still gonna have people on it. We need it. And those people are Deborah Mulligan, Vivek Turmal, Natalie Figures. Are you staying on this one, Natalie?
She said to get off.
Get off. Okay, thank you. Harold and Tangela Cummings.
But we were gonna,
Take them off that one.
yeah.
Good. Octavia, we taking you off this one?
Yeah, you could take me off. Nick just texted me. I'm trying to find out his last name. He said he wanted to be on there.
On the CCR or on
He
the
wants to be on the
construction?
CCR and the other one, the first one we talked about. I forgot which committee that was.
We do need 3,
He's texting me now. Hold on one second. I'll put it in the chat,
Any three
okay,
of the
John?
group, right?
any 3 of the group.
Yeah, that's fine. You can put it in the chat or just, yes, chat's
Oh,
working.
or is he there at the meeting? I'm trying to figure, is he there at the meeting or on the chat? I don't know. I'm trying to,
No, Nick's not. There's no Nick here.
There's no Nick. Okay, he says, tell them my name. I'm like, okay, what's your last name? Okay, I'll put it in the chat.
Thank you. Okay.
John, real quick on that, do you want to explain the as needed?
Oh,
part there?
we have three members of this committee will meet as a grievance at any one time. So it doesn't meet on a regular basis. Perhaps they could meet to familiarize themselves with the rules and things at one point. But that's, like they said, we had one in 2023, none in 2024. So hopefully this won't meet that often. But it will be a min and max of 3 people attending this grievance committee. That's what you meant, Drip? Yeah,
So
right.
people might not know that.
Okay,
So
good.
this is a grievance by a resident.
Once the board initiates a fine on somebody, they have a right to appeal it to this grievance
The
committee.
right to a hearing.
This is that. I am surprised you didn't have any in 2024.
You're the violation.
Yeah.
Which is the point, to not get to hear.
You had violations without that.
Yeah.
Okay. Next committee, we have security committee.
Well, that's whenever it's organized. Tangela expressed that Harold would like to be on that whenever you guys decide what you want to do with that.
So what do
It
you
was
mean?
an old committee, I guess, that Harold was on.
And he's on there by himself?
Well, not like the security guard. Well,
That's what it
I mean, I
was.
guess it kind of.
It was a security guard.
But
Wasn't that Drew was dealing with it?
Oh, we had to deal with all the problems
The
with the
security
security company.
company?
Remember that?
Yeah, with the
Wouldn't
Haas.
the board deal with that normally? I mean, I don't, something like that, I don't think we need residents.
No, I mean, that was for the feedback, like I used Nosh help to get some security cards. They were dropping off and not showing up and stuff like that.
And you and I were on this committee to talk about
Oh, that separate
lift
about-
arms and
yeah.
things like that that could fall into this, but as needed maybe. So let's not do anything with that for now.
Yeah.
Okay, security committee's nothing. That's fine.
last name's Trivedi, and it's like you said, Trivedi. Thank you, Octavia.
Can I just say something about, I just want to go back to that CCR committee.
Yes.
When residents are going to see, like, speak to these individuals, I got a email from the Whispering Woods, the between the two gates, what is it, the condo? What we have next, right? If they want to meet there, it is free for our board. If they're gonna have
In the
any-
little conference
in the
room?
little conference room. If you're there, you can. So if whoever's on the CCR, they can schedule for the resident to come there. You guys can sit there. It holds. She said it's like 8 people, but there's more chairs, so you could hold up to like 20 people.
But you'll never have more than,
Yeah, you won't have.
5.
Yeah, if it's per resident, it's for. So it's just out there that you could use. It's free for us.
That's where we used to hold them prior to doing
Right.
ones in.
And so if you ever, it's a suggestion to the CCR that you have to meet up and speak with the resident about their violations or whatnot. So that's just something there that they could use.
okay. That's fine. Okay, like to close the committees. Any other final words? Things we missed? No. Okay, next item on the agenda is legal contracts. And for the benefit of the people here, I want to call the board has received 5 retainer agreements or engagement letters, depending on what the specific, 6 now? Up to 6 people. And I think it's just prudent, we're talk amongst ourselves now, because we have the papers and we don't have a way to show those to you, and it's probably not
Yeah,
appropriate at this point anyway, so
but
just give us a minute when we talk about it. I don't think there's actually 6, right? Because we're not including,
There's
We're not
more.
taking
It would be 7, including Frank Weinberg Black on the K vendor.
I have Frank Weinberg, Greenspoon, K Bender, Wilbur Klein, Polygoff, and Roberts.
okay,
Who was the 7th?
You've got,
Clobber,
Robert Goldman.
I didn't see that.
the one that was at the meeting, how was he? At the recall meeting? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know who's at the recall.
that was,
Was
I
that-
think,
is
wasn't he
that-
part of Hogan's?
No.
No, the guy at the recall meeting, I don't know where he was with. Kay Bender was brought in for an opinion on the voting for the special assessment.
No, it's
We also got,
That was for the.
Yeah. I
We
got
thought it
that
was
too.
somebody else for the recall.
He
So,
thinks,
but I saw him twice. I don't know.
He's not with Klauber Goldman. That was the one you sent.
no, he's not.
Right. That was Holler. Was with Klauber Goldman.
Mitch Holler, yes. But I don't know who was at the recall meeting, but does that matter, Tara?
Ryan?
He was
No.
the commissioner.
No, but I just wanted to see if
Yeah,
he's
he was
working
the-
out.
he was the Coconut
I
Creek
mean,
guy.
Tracy never saw an invoice for the person that was at the recall meeting,
oh,
and we never just,
I was just
he was
wondering if
just
he's
there.
working out.
I don't know. It wasn't there. I have
Okay,
no idea
so-
who it was.
So we don't know.
He's I think, a commissioner from Coconut Creek, also an attorney. I don't know
I
his
think,
name.
I thought I saw him twice. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay, well,
his name.
since we don't know.
Okay, so the ones we have, this is in the packet or no? This is in the new packet, right? Did you hand out the new packet in paper to everybody? The new attorney list?
Yes. I have an extra.
Did you see where I put it? I have it.
That's one of the ones.
I'll take it, Tracy.
Here.
Oh, okay.
Gonna
He
walk
has
back
it,
one more
he
time.
has it.
Okay. I'll make a general comment. They're all similar. But obviously, we're focusing on what it is we're looking for, right? We want someone that's going to be available to answer our calls quickly. I don't care if it's a small firm or a large firm. I think I've had better luck with small firms, just because. Does anybody care if they do more than just HOA law? I think it could be an advantage. I don't think it's a disadvantage to only do HOA law, but there are cases when they may have attorneys that could help them if the conversation sways to something outside of strict HOA, like personal injury or real estate kind of things. There might be some cross, so it might be an advantage to have some fields within that, right? I can't think of another example on that. We have ranges up to 425 an hour on some of these people, for very experienced people. We have at least 2 quotes in the 300 to 325 range, right? We have Ryan Polikoff, which is 300 for the first 6 months and 325 thereafter. So for comparison, we think at 325.
I think it's
350.
It's 350.
325 for the first 6
Right.
months.
350.
Thank you. Is that on here?
Uh-huh.
Is it on the second page?
It's on the second page,
There you
the
go.
last one.
Okay, I was going by memory. So let's just consider Ryan at 350 then, because we're in it for the long haul, not for the short bonus time. Milberg Klein is a 3-person firm, 2 partners and a paralegal. $300 an hour. They both came from a larger firm that broke up. And they have some interesting things here. One thing they notice is foreclosure bankruptcy monitoring is a flat fee of $350. I didn't see other ones, but I didn't look closely that had a flat fee for foreclosures and bankruptcies.
Well, it's just monitoring them. It's not proceeding to a bankruptcy or a foreclosure. It's
Okay,
just
you think
the-
that's just to monitor and keep track?
I think that's the same. I think Hogan was the same exact, or he was a little bit more.
I don't think those are charges.
Well, he has that $10,000 retainer though, so.
By the way, John, Kate Bender has a 350 flat for foreclosures.
Monitoring?
I can look it up, it just said that.
was Clover Goldman that had the 355. And that's just for the flat rate for the letters.
All collection letters. Is that what it was? This is going to be really hard to do this way. Can we start by eliminating people on this list for consideration and then look at each one? Are there any we should, besides the second one, any ones we should eliminate from the start?
I was worried about so the collection, to me, the collection is the most important aspect. And somebody wrote here, $2.25 an hour cost billed to the HOA until file closed for audit call. So do they expect us to pay that $2.25 an hour until it's closed, or it's just billed? Because all the other ones seem to have put, pretty much it's the unit owner's responsibility unless they're unsuccessful.
But that's what this is reimbursement and settlement to HOA.
I think the difference is being reimbursed.
Is who does it.
Right,
In most of them, the attorney absorbs it until the end.
Exactly. That's a big,
You're right.
that's a big deal.
That is a difference. You're right. That is one difference. Okay. Are you proposing that excludes them, or you're just pointing?
I don't. That's a big one for me.
The other ones have the same thing.
No, I think the one he.
Milberg
Milberg
is
line.
the owner pays unless unsuccessful. Clover Goldman, the only thing that it noted was that they have a $350 flat rate for all the letters, but I'm sure that there's attorney costs and fees.
I didn't see.
It didn't say anything specific about how that is billed. Kay Bender had no note. Green Spoon Martyr was $3.75 an hour for all collection matters. Frank Weinberg Black had a $6.50 per case retainer.
I'd get rid of Green Spoon Martyr.
Which one deals with more than the HOA? Which one did you see? Is it that the?
Clover Goldman.
Well, Green Spoon, they're huge, right? They have all sorts of divisions.
Okay, so.
But I've dealt with them.
So what was that one again?
Is that the one that deals with more than just HOA? They have, what are they dealing with? What are they dealing with?
Clover Goldman deals with, I didn't write it down on this sheet. I wrote it in the email. It was, injury,
Okay,
corporate, and something else.
So that's too much for me, but,
But they have one attorney that handles the HOA stuff.
Which one? Which one?
Clover Goldman.
I don't feel like that. They didn't really give us such a good understanding of how they handled the proceedings, and I don't think we want to wait on that.
The nice thing about the law clerks and paralegals was just $150 an hour though, as they use them for stuff. It was kind of nice on that, and they were $3.25 an hour all the time.
So
I don't think you want to.
Compared to $75 an hour on paralegal, that's a big difference.
Was there a 75?
You have it here. 75 for Milberg line. It's huge.
Okay. All right. Okay, so.
John, do you have experience with them?
No, I don't. They're recommended. That's it. Just recommended by somebody that I know. So we don't like Clover Goldman? We're eliminating them?
I mean, personally, no, just because it's just too many things they're into.
Yeah, but the bigger firms like Kay Bender and stuff. Right?
Yeah, that doesn't, but, I just think I think everybody, do you guys know who you want? Like, you can just put, 3 on the table, 2 on the table?
I think not everybody's had a chance to go through each of these, so I think a little bit of roundabout's good, but if we can eliminate a couple.
Okay.
We should have. No, I guess it's too late.
We could limit it to like 2 and then do some more research. I mean, it's a pretty critical thing. But...
I think a good one, can we ask them how many HOAs they represent and if they have an average yearly, spend? Approximately, just so we have an idea, right? I mean, I guess it matters if you have, you have to, per home.
Whether it's condominium or HOA and how big.
How big
community
Just an
it
idea,
is.
yeah, how big the HOA is, and just kind of, get an idea, because we have 197 homes, right? So, I mean, if you just look at, per capita,
Okay, yeah, we
That's-
we
that's a
probably
good way
should
to
have
get an
developed a spec to
we
go
should
out
have thought
with.
about that. And I mean, you could narrow it to 3 and then ask those 3.
I mean, we're not in an emergency right now,
We're not.
so
Okay, so we're not an emergency, so we still have, are we still with Bogan?
Mhm.
We are,
until we give notice.
okay. So that's why,
And that's very cost effective for the HOA as well.
right, but, I mean, I don't know, you were saying, is he taking calls? Bogan? Bogan's office?
Yes.
One second. What do we pay Bogan? I don't think.
At the expiration of the contract, sometimes it'll be like biannual.
Do you know when the expiration
Let
date
me look
is?
that up.
I don't know.
I think I have.
I think reading is, I mean, Bogan wants to be released. Is that
He
not
does,
right?
but the question is, have we already paid him?
Yes.
If we paid him, then.
Till
Well,
when?
maybe not,
That's
well.
the question.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out.
okay, okay,
okay.
Contract term.
Sorry.
Okay,
So we paid him the 10K?
Well, I'm not saying.
Maybe not
I'm
for
just-
20,
I'm just
maybe not
making
for
sure- I'm just
2025, but I don't know when,
When
when
it
the
runs through.
contract runs through.
But I mean, we
Yeah,
haven't used that up, I'm saying.
That's all.
we have, we've used up the 10K?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
I think I
What we're
understand.
saying is, if his contract essentially runs through June of this year,
Correct.
Then we have time.
then we've already paid for that service,
Okay.
but we need to figure out whether we have or not.
His
Here's-
contract expires June 30th.
Is it June 30th?
Just asked him.
Oh, okay. I guess we shouldn't ask him right now.
Oh, he's on, yeah, he's on.
But we'll
Mark's
ask him
online.
that in person, I guess. Because if that's the case, what's the point of?
So
Use the services.
let's do this. Let's develop a spec right now, and that'll be our action on today.
Right.
And then we'll go back to these people with the spec, and we'll narrow it down for the next 1 or 2 meetings for them.
You want to
Okay,
narrow,
and then
you want to
it
narrow
ha-
down to 3 now and then?
No,
or-
let's not. Let's
No.
just do the spec.
I think a big one is just pretty much if we can figure. if we can
Tracy, you gonna take notes on this, or should I?
We can figure out a way for, like on these HOAs that they serve or that they, provide services for. We can get an idea of what these HOAs are average spending with them. And then if we can, then we can just look at how many homes are in those HOAs and just get a per capita cost.
Okay, Tracy, you're taking notes on your phone. I can do it on my computer right here easily.
And then is it
So on
possible
this
if we
one
can
item, we'll
meet
take
with
notes.
maybe two, like, when we, like two,
Yeah.
maybe 3, just meet like with them to talk to them?
Okay, attorney specs, number 1. Can I get you to repeat that? Sure.
Just, we have to get like a per capita, like what, they're, if they, let's say,
How many HOAs?
well, let's say that they're serving on an that they're, I don't know.
How many they
Broken Sound
representing?
Has 500 homes and they're spending about 25K. You can per capita that, right? Just get an idea.
Well, we'll ask them the average number of homes
Right,
and the number of HOAs. Do we want to differentiate it from condos, right?
I don't think it matters, but I
It
don't.
definitely matters.
I think if someone only does,
John, I just
Condos.
sent it to you. in-
HOA stuff.
You should find out how long you have to give them.
They're both,
What is
most of
it?
them are like 30 days. It's really, like every single one.
I can't see that, I can't even read
I
it.
think Sherry mentioned.
John, you also want to,
Not
what
legal
ideas I
to
have?
have
make sure there's no conflict of
somebody
interest.
doing collections is.
Correct.
also-
hold on, I'm still on number
Means
1
different
because I'm very
attorneys
slow.
that does the regular people,
There's no,
like the regular people, like us.
Association
I guess we'd have to.
You also want to ask them, John, about.
Hold on, I'm not that good.
You're ready.
Okay, number 1 I've written down is how many HOAs representing average number of units each, not condos.
Right, and what's the, as Joe was saying, what's the budget-ish? Like, what's the billable, roughly?
Oh, average billable of those?
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna tell you
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's
Just-
most important.
Just an idea, we're not gonna tell you exactly.
That's
Okay, I like that.
number that
Any conflicts of interest representing us, obviously?
We don't know, but we can ask.
I don't think there is on that, John, because I
It's
asked
just
Russ
an
that.
idea,
He
right?
said-
Because right now we do it like.
Yeah, I do
But it's
too.
defined
Can you
differently
read
for
that
attorneys than it
You
is.
know, so the question is.
Sorry?
Can you read that contract in the chat? That's Mark's contract.
Because we're still.
Can you read it? I can't see
But
it.
we use a lot of lawsuits last year.
Can
What?
you read that?
A lot of them.
I don't think we need it right now, do we? We don't need it right now. That's.
I
not
just
important.
posted it because you asked about the expiration date when you guys were talking. So I just pulled
you.
up
We
the
are- we-
contract for you. It's on the agreement.
Okay, we already answered that. It's June 30th, right?
It says
We're covered.
2026 on here. So you might
What?
want to take a look at it again. That's why I posted it for you to look at. That's
All right,
what
I'll
came out the portal just now.
Ultimately, I don't think it matters because he's okay with being removed.
Yeah.
I just want to know that we paid for this year or not. We have,
Yeah, for what we paid for.
yes. That's all.
Mark, have we paid?
Thanks,
for this
Octavia.
year?
We'll cover that to be sure. Perhaps I got bad info.
Ready for the next
And
one, John?
number 3,
I think it's a good idea to have some, what I want to call education component.
Love you, bye.
When we are asking to be up to speed on different things, that's part of it, because not only we have new board members, but we also have, like what happened with the vote, we have different opinions on things. We need to nail that down.
does that mean like the ability to ask questions?
Yeah, but maybe some ramp up time where they're not billing us every minute for that type thing. Part of the onboarding process maybe, or something like that.
Like general counsel.
Yeah, just kind of get us up to speed on things. One of the guys talked about that in one of their contracts, about getting up to
Yeah.
speed, so to speak. So we're not billed every minute for that type of thing, right?
So educational component to start.
For lack of a better way of describing it, yes, something like that.
And then secondly, another one, let's make it separate then, is the ability to ask simple questions.
Well, one of the proposals had that in there,
Right.
actually.
I think it was Klein that had it in there.
Yeah, so
It was nice. I like that.
The other guy did too, the one I just talked to this morning, Clobber Goldman.
That one did too? Okay.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't as bold, it wasn't printed the same way as
Right.
Klein.
Klein was like.
Klein was like, this is it. We want you, he said, we want you not to get in trouble, so we want you to call us more often.
Yeah.
So not just wait and do something stupid because you're afraid of getting billed for a phone call. That's the way he put it.
Yes, kind of talk like that.
no particular order, John, when you're ready for the next one.
Okay, next, number 5.
Meeting representation. So if we need them at a meeting.
What does that cost?
Well, what their policy is, one of the guys had in there 2-hour minimum. Is that at what rate? Who that is? Right.
What is a meeting?
Well, yeah, it's what we asked them to be at.
Like if we asked them to come to the annual meeting.
Stuff like
Not
that,
that.
assessment, specific.
Okay, good, I like that too.
Another one, you ready?
Yes.
Update our docs. Like, there was a package in there that talked about, bringing the docs up to speed with state statute. Make sure it matches what we want. We know that it is what we think it is, different rules and whatever the docs have to say.
There is some
We got a couple of things.
question there about coffee.
Kind of moving forward through is
Thanks.
that I've just, you got one is that currently we had recent legislation, it's been enacted, that was effective in 2024 as well as in 2025, 2 different dates. So one is bringing up to date with respect to those regulations. And the other aspect could be included in this is just some of the modernization activities, or including things that you want to have that are more modern, included in the bylaws and articles that might not already have.
Exactly. Let me add to what he just said there, John, when you're ready.
Well, what I wrote
No,
so
'cause it makes
far,
sense, because
I wrote the ability to update our docs to new state law with amendments, or just which takes precedence if there's a conflict.
correct.
And a lot of times that's just a verbal thing. We'll know which takes precedence rather than spend the time to try and pass an amendment to update to a new state law that may change 2 years from now, right? Because the state law, just in case everybody knows, the state law will always take precedence if it conflicts with anything in our bylaws or declarations, unless our bylaws are the more conservative option. That's the way they word it. The more conservative option when there's a conflict, conservative meaning beneficial to the homeowner. That's a definition. So just because it's in the state law, if we got something that says something lower, that's what takes precedence.
But associations are going the other way, John, in terms of saying that having a provision in their articles or bylaws that says if there's ever a change in the law, we automatically, as part of the ongoing approval process, that just evergreen, or in essence, incorporates any new law. And that's protecting the homeowner association. That's to the detriment of the homeowner. So it kind of goes, it can go both ways.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
That's where we are right now.
You're speaking of language that our docs may or may not force us to follow state law.
Right. Well,
that's a fact.
That can be one. The other what some organizations are doing is going the other way, saying having a provision in their bylaws, in their articles, that says if the state law changes, in essence, we automatically change too, without making any revisions within the article or bylaws. So then you have to go to the law in order to determine whether you're in compliance. I like the other way. I think is what we want to do is you want to have provisions that periodically you will update to be in compliance with law.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. You're right. We got to decide which way we want to go, but I think I'd want to be free to do that on a case-by-case basis. I wouldn't want to automatically follow state law, right? I mean, I'd rather keep something in our documents if the state law is crazy, if we can.
Right, or even if it's not
So-
in our bylaws or in documents, then you do the state law.
So I think that's covered under number 6 here, as far as a question, right? We don't want to get their opinion on it now, but I think just getting that out there, I think gets it out there.
I want to add to what he just said, because if you don't do this for a living, how do you know what questions to ask?
Exactly.
Right. So I'd like them to promote, hey, by the way, something just passed or something happened. You should check this out. Here's how to integrate it in your community, that kind of stuff.
So
A lot of people don't
ongoing,
do that unless you ask them, and that's kind of annoying if you're an attorney.
will they take the initiative?
Yes.
Also, if the bylaws are updated, like we have a copy of the original bylaws from 1986, from 84, and we have never, we've never gotten any of these updates for 39 years. Is there going to be some place that we could access this if we want to download it, or if we want to print it out so that we can have it and see it? And that has all the updates and the current.
That does
Yeah,
exist
it's
today.
all there.
It's on the portal.
It's
They're
all
all
on
on
the
the
portal.
portal. Where?
But what,
On the portal, the
Yeah,
documents.
Under
they all
documents.
are, since 84.
but Phyllis, what's not there is you have to look at all the amendments to see which paragraphs in the original are excluded, because the original will still be there in full text.
Yep.
The amendment copies the original and crosses out, but that won't be in the original recorded document.
So can we get just the updated, so we don't have to like go through all the stuff and
You know,
match it all?
Have to
Twen-
have an attorney read.
20 years
rewrite
ago,
your
we
document.
looked at that, and it was cost prohibitive to have them rewrite our entire bylaws to incorporate everything. I remember that. 20 years ago, we tried that. We talked about it.
So in order for me to get the updated, I have to have the original and then look at all the updates and see where they fit in?
That's
All the
correct.
changes?
Right now, that's correct. Now, maybe we could get an attorney to write a cheat sheet for us.
Or you can get your rules committee to go through it and maybe get you a cheat sheet. that
Do it
is
for you.
official.
Yeah, there you go. That's probably a good idea.
It's a non-official document. Well, like, what do we give the new people now? If I was moving into the community now, what would I get?
You would get a welcome packet that welcomes you to Coral Springs, Whispering Woods. It includes your rules and regulations, how to log on to everything to obtain all the information, phone numbers, websites.
But you don't get a set of
Security
new
forms.
documents.
The homeowners are responsible to provide that to you.
Exactly. That's what I
Right.
wanted you to say. If the homeowners don't do it, as a new owner, you can download them from the portal.
Or you can access.
You should
them
get the
through
paper copy
courthouse
from
for
the
free somehow.
seller. That's the way it always
Majority
is.
of the title company that sells the, when you go get the sign for the house, they have it.
From the seller.
Correct.
But that thing is like totally outdated, right? Like,
Well,
if we
with the,
sold our
with
house,
the
we
amendments,
would
with
give
the
that
amendments.
habit.
That's
That
just how
gives
the law
people this, like,
works.
old piece of, you know.
I like Sherry's idea though, to have the rules committee work on a cheat sheet, a
The
summary.
hardest part of it
Why
is
not?
some of them are images and not actual documents, which really means you literally have to go through it with a magnifying glass because you can't actually read it.
I've got pretty good sight.
There's one section that you cannot read.
Well, but that's the crazy section, don't ever change. Yeah, that's the,
But it talks about farm paths.
sorry?
I had to send
To
a
your point,
violation
we
for
had an
chicken.
attorney mention
Yeah,
the
but
fact,
chicken-
they call it the
yeah, I know.
matrix or cheat sheet,
I think we should allow.
and then you have them go through it and just, maybe the rules committee can do that.
Yeah.
And then you have a waiver at the bottom, you recommend it for a waiver at the bottom, subject to attorney opinion, blah, blah, case. by case.
State law changes, things. That's
But that'll
good.
be very helpful.
Sherry, when you do this on the rules committee, make sure you have a waiver at the bottom that says subject to changes by state law.
Actually, what I will put on there is this is not the official document
Exactly.
of the homeowners association. Okay,
It's a
period.
guide only.
This is a guide only. This is denied.
It seems to me that when you move into the community, you should be able to have the current documents.
Well, this is a step to get there.
No, it's very expensive. It is very prohibitive to rewrite documents all the way back to 1984. It's very prohibitive. It costs no, we don't want to pay for this. You don't want to pay for this. Trust me on this. You don't.
All right, another question I have here, just to move ahead,
A
if we
month.
could, can I get off that for now?
Yeah.
Because that'll be covered by the rules committee. What other fields of law does your office undertake? It's not a plus or a minus, but it's just good to know, right? Number 8, anybody? How about physical locality? Does that matter? We deal with everything electronically by phone?
Yeah, I think
That
so,
matters.
Do you care that they charge you for travel?
I mean, you would definitely want them to be in
To,
Broward
to
County.
attend meetings, yeah, that would be in there. We have a question about meetings, right?
Yeah, they give you a 2-hour minimum. Isn't that what
One
you had?
One of them did. Minimum hours, travel
The other ones didn't
time.
mention it.
So travel time, I'll add to that item. Like Robbins, I would call Bob. His office is in Miami Lakes,
You would want any.
but they have a
5 in
satellite in
Broward
Coral
County.
Springs, which
He
is
lives here.
his house. He's a nice guy. I actually, yeah, I just don't know too much about him. Okay. Okay, anything else on this thing? We can come up with it later. I'll print it up and I'll circulate it and we'll just get that. But, all right, that's
Do you
good.
have a motion to table this?
A motion to tables.
A second.
All those in favor of tabling it for now?
All right.
Aye. Wonderful. Thank you. And thanks for all the comments from the gallery. I didn't say peanut gallery. Hold on, I just want to save it in the right spot. I don't want to hurry. This is something I just don't want to. More options. Okay, there it is. There's the folder. Okay, great. I'll clean that up and send it to everybody. Okay, that's good. Okay, next item on the agenda is probably apology letter, but let me make sure. Yes. Okay, the next item on the agenda is apology letter. I sent that to you guys like an hour before the meeting, the suggested text. Did anybody or everybody get a chance to read it?
I read it, I think I did, the most part of it.
I read it.
Okay, 3 people. Tara, did you read it?
No.
You reading it now?
Mhm.
Okay. Give you a minute. Just as background, while Tara's catching up on that, at the last meeting, Tara asked the board to consider some type of letter acknowledging some of the issues that happened over the past many months with the old board, and asked if we could address that. And we've come up with a letter that's been circulated to the board. Okay, you got it?
Uh-huh.
Do you, what I want to do is, if we can approve the wording as I laid it out, we enter that, read it out, and enter it into the record as a response to that question. So, does anybody have any comments, or just approve as is, or statements? Drew?
Yeah, on point one here, when you say previous board mistakenly believed, we were under legal counsel. Legal counsel told us that was okay, which was wrong, but that's what we were going with.
I didn't know that fact.
That's why I'm bringing it up, yeah. But other than that, anything else, unintentional, that's fine. Everything else looks okay.
Any other comments before I go over this? Josh?
No, I read it over.
Tara?
It's fine.
Joe?
For the most part, I think so.
Any comments like Drew had a comment?
I don't know.
So I changed number one to read, the previous board mistakenly was led to believe that a simple majority of residents, is that good?
That a what? Wait, say that again.
I thought I got you right. The previous board mistakenly was led to believe that a simple majority of residents voting yes, with at least 60 lots participating to meet quorum, was enough to pass an alteration assessment for capital expenses.
Yeah, I would just be specific. It was legal counsel that told us that was okay.
Oh.
Which is the truth. So.
Okay. Fine. Previous board mistakenly was led to believe by legal counsel that a simple majority. Right? Okay, so do I have a motion to accept this letter as amended just now?
I second it.
Okay, I'll make the motion. Nosh seconds the motion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Seven aye, Tara?
Aye.
Okay. I think it's appropriate that I read this letter to the group. Does that sound fair?
Please
You
do.
can read the rest.
Please do.
Okay. Okay. On February 18th, 2025, Tara Guerrera asked the board to address issues occurring before this new board took office. Rather than the board commenting on past events, we will adhere to the following principles going forward to assist in restoring Whispering Woods to a harmonious and friendly environment. The Whispering Woods Board of Directors did not support or condone any actions intended to embarrass, defame, or otherwise harm anyone's reputation, financial well-being, status within the community, or any other action that could be perceived negatively. The Board of Directors' purpose is to manage the association's business for the benefit of all residents, resolve conflicts as needed, and foster community engagement to achieve this goal. Directors are expected to prioritize the needs of the community over their personal goals or feelings. It is unfortunate that anyone feels harmed by others' statements. We cannot apologize on behalf of others, and we regret the division in our community. As president, along with every director, we commit to helping the community move forward by learning from the past. I urge everyone to condemn future negativity and get involved in the community in any way they can. We respect varying desires for camaraderie, but we can still be good neighbors. The paused entrance enhancement project is another significant issue where greater transparency would have benefited the board. To date, no official explanation has been provided regarding why the vote was taken the way it was, why the project was paused, or for how long the pause will remain. Let me clarify this now. Number one, the previous board mistakenly was led to believe by legal counsel that a simple majority of residents voting yes, with at least 60 lots participating to meet quorum, was enough to pass an alteration assessment for capital expenses like options B and C. This error was likely unintentional. Number two, after a resident pointed out that the correct threshold to pass a special assessment for alterations, options B and C, required a majority of all 197 owners, or 99 lots, voting yes, the project was paused to obtain further legal opinions. Number three, at least 2 new attorneys have been contracted to provide their opinions on this specific question. Both legal opinions have since confirmed that the higher threshold of 99 lots was required to pass a special assessment for options B and C. Therefore, option B did not legally pass, contrary to the initial announcement. Number four, due to the timing of the upcoming elections and some issues with the original estimates for for options A and B being high by $591,000 or $3,000 per lot, the project remained on hold. Number five, the current board concurs with the previous board and many residents that substantial work is necessary to improve the entrances. Along with the new committee of residents, the board will review previous plans and designs towards progressing the project without starting anew. Transparency will be maintained throughout the process, and some maintenance tasks that do not require a homeowner vote will be addressed first. New paragraph and topic. Board decisions are made exclusively at duly noticed board meetings, which all residents are invited to attend, except when the subject is of a legal nature. Attending these meetings is the best way to stay informed about the progress of this and other initiatives. The 3 new directors have advocated for change with support from the 2 remaining directors. This includes modifications to how board meetings are managed and increasing resident involvement. All meetings are now accessible for residents to attend either in person or virtually via Zoom. While resident comments during board discussions are requested to be minimal, residents may speak for up to 1 minute on any agenda item before a vote is taken. Adjustments are being made to improve the Zoom experience. Thank you for trusting the board to enhance the Whispering Woods experience. We encourage you to contact any of us with ideas, questions, or requests for clarifications. Sincerely, John Benkenstein, President, on behalf of your Board of Directors. That's the letter.
Yay.
Yay!
1 minute, John, can I have a 1 minute? I don't like that sentence about that it was likely unintentional, okay? Because they sent an email that it was supposed to be 75%, like an amendment threshold.
I remember that.
Then, okay, and then when they didn't get a quorum and they pushed it to November 20th, right, so they can keep on getting ballots and whatnot, that change to simple was never announced to the community, okay? So there's some intentionality there, John. When you first say it's an amendment threshold, and then you postpone the meeting because you didn't meet a threshold, and then you change the threshold, and you don't tell anybody, and guess what? Threshold 1 and threshold 2 were both wrong, and number 3, the board should have known that already, because they can read. If they can read, they could have read that in the bylaws, because that's their job. That's what they volunteered to do, was to read. Okay?
In defense,
So all this pushing over and scapegoating on the lawyer, I think is a bunch of hogwash. Okay? Because
I would
that is intentionality. The way they kept on changing the threshold is intentional. So I think you should strike that.
let me address that.
Can I add something before you do that?
No, I don't want to lose my train of thought.
No, we'll let him at, go ahead.
What I want to tell you is that the letter was excellent for this reason. The letter could be used against the board if you did not say it was unintentional. Because there is, if you have intentional in there, you say that the board did this knowingly, they could be sued for libel. So the fact that you didn't do that makes that letter perfect.
Thank you. Do you still need an answer?
So that's the reason why it wasn't put in there?
Exactly.
That is a reason.
Okay.
It's also the reason that I believe it. I believed it up until Drew told me I didn't know that they had advice from counsel before they passed that threshold. I purposely did not want to investigate this on the past board because I want to move forward. I really want a clean slate and do things the right way from this point forward, out in the open, full transparency, common sense, and I really don't want the dislike and what's the other word?
Animosity. So
To
you
continue.
don't even mention in there that any kind of alterations would again require another vote with 99.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was implied. It would. It's actually, you know what? I didn't look at the, maybe you guys are, there is a threshold. And I think is it 7.5% of the annual budget? Do I remember that? It's in a,
There is a formula.
it's very
have
low.
lots of information on that,
In
on
a-
how to figure that out. I can get it to you tomorrow.
Well, I could find it quickly if I had a minute. And there is an amendment which changed, our documents were based on the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it cited a 1954 index. And anything over that index adjusted for today's date meant we had to get a vote, right? There was an amendment because that's BLS stat was outdated. There was an amendment that said, and don't quote me on this, I think it said any alteration in excess of 7.5% of the annual HOA budget would require a vote. So what's the annual budget?
Is that an amendment to the bylaw?
Yeah, it's an amendment. I have it in my folder. Somebody, what's the annual budget, Stephanie?
Stephanie.
John,
Oh, then I got it wrong. That's the budget. I'm sorry.
1.197. So you could round it to 1.2.
So if I'm right on the 7.5%, that's anything over $134,000 requires a special assessment vote. I may be wrong though.
Yeah, what do you mean at anything? I mean, so when
Any
you get-
alteration that's not
Oh,
maintenance.
alteration, okay.
But I can look. Let's do
It's not
it.
included, it's not included in your studies, right? Right? It's not already planned in your.
Well, it would be if it's an alteration. then
It's an alteration. It has to be voted on.
it's an alteration.
It has road replacement.
It says maintenance. Like I think when they talk alteration, they're talking about like a change.
Yeah, the board, just to clear up maintenance, the board is obligated. We have no choice but to maintain things. We don't need a vote for that. Talk among yourselves for a minute.
Right. I have a question about the lawyer, the attorney. When you get advice from him or her, does that come in writing or is it just like they tell us? And you can interpret it however you want. Is that
I don't know.
information that they gave you in writing somewhere?
Sometimes we
Who needs to be
writing,
muted?
right?
Got it.
Formal.
Someone called iPhone.
But there's tons of discussion all the time.
I can tell you that the two opinions they got from new attorneys were in writing.
So if John's theory is correct, that we wanted to replace the foam with concrete, are you saying that if it was under the $130,000 threshold, it would be able to do that?
Yeah, that's if my assertion is correct.
The way you're saying.
Yeah, that's correct.
If it's included in the budget. Otherwise, you have to revise the budget.
Yes, your budget is approved on an annual basis.
No, that's not true,
I don't
no.
think that's-
I'd like to find this, but we can pass a special assessment for something like that without a vote if it's under the threshold and not in the budget. It would become outside the budget assessment.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
You're amending the budget.
I mean, just speaking, like, just naming this fine, right, the issue that we had, right, with a lot of the phone repair was we didn't think that we could switch the phone without passing.
Requiring
with-
an amendment
with-
for
with-
the
exactly.
alteration.
Okay,
So
here it
if
is.
possible, then that would, it's not like we have the option.
So one of the things we've been talking about is how important it is to have a member of the finance committee, which you didn't have, on each one of the other committees. So if you had a representative from the finance committee on this construction committee or maintenance committee, maybe it would have been helpful, right? To understand how to change the budget or how to use that.
The committees are definitely a buffer. You need all hands on deck when it comes to that. Because if you just do it by yourself, I mean, we're all human, so it's liable to.
There's only 5 people out there.
Correct. You're gonna make a
You guys
mistake
have jobs,
somewhere,
like everybody else.
and then it can be costly.
All right, I found the paragraph. I'm just trying to read it now.
There's like 20. Almost 30. But some of it you can't read. You physically can't read.
There's amendments to the covenants.
There's 3 in them. I think there's only 3.
Okay, here it is. It is 7.5%.
Period.
But this is dated, this is an amendment dated March 6, 1997
The bylaws.
to the Declaration of Covenants, not the bylaws.
Okay, it's-
Yeah. This is made by MAP Builders on March 6, and it has the usual language, so long as the declarant is in control, but we don't worry about that. I'll read it to you. You'll have to see it several times to get it. The associations have the right to make additions, alterations, or improvements to the common areas and to purchase any personal property as it deems necessary or desirable from time to time, provided, however, that if the cost of any alterations, improvements, or personal property shall in any calendar year exceed in the aggregate the sum of 7.5% of the annual assessment, multiplied by the number of dwellings within the subject property, as of the time such additions, alterations, improvements are to be made, then such alterations or improvements shall not be made without the approval of a majority of the votes of the owners. So long as any land mortgagee, blah, 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 which of course we'll pass that.
That's only 89,000.
This is referencing parent 3.045. If you want to look at your declarations, this text replaces that. And Tracy, you had this quoted in one of the early things with the special assessment. You had that 7.5% figure in there. So it's pretty easy to exceed $134,000, right?
It's not 134, John. 89.
Did I multiply wrong?
Yes.
What was the annual budget again?
1.97, 760. Times 0.075 is 89,832.
89, thank you. Okay, I did do it wrong, sorry. So $89,000. It's even easier to exceed 89,000 than 134.
The key in that whole thing is aggregate.
Yeah, you can only do one a year. Correct.
And what's the definition of the start and the beginning and end of the year?
Fiscal year.
It would be our fiscal year.
Fiscal year.
And we could take this on this calendar, it's a calendar year.
Ours is a calendar year. Our fiscal year is a calendar year. Do we know if this is on the portal? This one is pretty old. It is. Stacy says it's there.
Tracy. Okay.
How many times have I done that?
Fairly fast.
All right, let's move along.
Okay.
Any more questions on that? We're good? We read the letter. That'll be, you'll all get copies of that. And you get to play the recording and hear me say it over and over again. I'll put you to sleep. New business, ARB applications. 5526 exterior painting. I move to approve that.
Yeah, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Second one, fence extension. Just a question. Do
That
we
one was
not
approved.
identify the lots on purpose?
Yes,
Okay, so I won't do that.
I mean, anybody can figure it out, but
Is there,
we try not
can
to.
I ask a question? Is there any reason just we can't, or we approve them all in one go? Is there all?
There's only two, but yeah.
Well, and there is the one other for the
Oh, I'm
temporary
sorry.
dumpster.
Okay, so
Sorry about that.
the fence extension in a backyard, I move to approve that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Did you want to now cover the new ARB? Do you want to throw that in here?
Yes, the temporary
Tracy?
dumpster, thank you. I have one approval. If the other two can chime in, I'll be happy to issue.
It was guaranteed less than X hours.
Which she still says probably not gonna happen, but better safe than sorry.
I hear that. Okay. All those in favor of the dumpster, say aye. Oh, do we have a motion to approve?
Well, it was you. We're just ratifying the original votes.
Okay. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. How do we handle the violations? I honestly don't know what to do here.
So
You'll take
That's
that?
what I was on.
we do have one, it's in your packet. I also provided the communication dialogue for it. It is actually at the point of board to determine whether to proceed with finding and hearing.
I'm sorry, I'd like to know which one in the packet this is.
It's on page 8.
My page 8 is, oh, yes, it is. Okay, got it. Last communication was February 13th. Someone needs to explain it to me because I don't see what the violation is.
So there was a bush or a shrub that was removed, a fence, a white vinyl panel fence that was installed, area of pavers that were installed. Without an architectural application. Do you want to switch that little roach?
No.
That's not a
Gentlemen.
roach. That's a dog.
The initial panel fence has since been removed, but then replaced. Don't flick it this way. Replaced with a
For
white.
those of you
picket
virtual,
vinyl
we have a
fence.
tiny dog with 6 legs running around this table. We no longer have a 6-legged creature running around the
Thanks,
room.
Joe.
That was your job. No, no. Thank you. Okay.
Bravo.
Good job.
There you go.
Good man.
Okay, so on this, what is the actual violation? Things were removed that shouldn't have been removed?
Things are removed and installed without association approval.
Okay.
But
Is this the thing that had they got approval, would we have approved it?
Probably not the fence,
There was a fence removed or added?
added.
Oh, I agree. They say here the fence is removable.
It has been removed and now replaced with a white picket vinyl fence.
That's not allowed either.
do we have pictures of that?
Yeah, they're on the portal.
Oh.
Oh, we don't, I haven't accessed that portal yet.
No, we haven't had a chance to access.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
They've had-
Okay. Are you guys that can access the portal? Is that Drew and Joe?
I have not seen that yet.
The Joe you have? You familiar with this?
No, I'm not, but if Trace told us that, there's that.
Tracy, what do you think we should do at this meeting? Should we just have a plan to look this over, or is this
I like
something
to
that's
look
clear cut?
Well, they
What do you
haven't
see?
submitted an
Yeah.
ARB.
Still not.
So
We
there's
still
no
don't have an
ARB.
ARB.
Right, so you find until you know, put your ARB.
This is
I
going
mean, I would
on,
like to look it, I would like to look it over.
It's
The-
across the street from you.
this started on January 31, is that correct?
Yes.
So it's been 2 weeks only.
Months.
Oh, we're March, you're right, 2 months, sorry. Oh, it was a month ago, okay. What do you guys think?
What
Start-
is the
start the
actual
fine.
fine? What is the actual fine?
$100 per day until cured.
Do you want to look it over now?
I think we can start the fine, get their attention. That's what the purpose
I
of
mean,
it is.
she's texted her,
But I
like,
never.
she's texting.
But Tracy's texted them many times
Yeah.
a day, every day.
Let's look
I've
at this.
also spoken with and provided additional notice to the homeowners who actually live in another home within the community.
Oh, it's family?
Oh,
I don't want, I don't want this to be a practice, so maybe I'll just say it. If we should, in my mind, this is something that deserves a fine because we've tried, it's been over a month, they haven't done anything. So we should not foreclose on the house, but we should initiate the fine. I think that's the next step to escalate.
can we look at it? Should we look at it? Like, because we
Yeah, I
don't
guess-
even have access to the portal right now to look it over. And I mean, I guess this was fine from the previous, so I would like to look at it.
There hasn't been a
Before we
fine. I think this is that right?
Yeah, but we
We're
haven't had a
voting, we're
chance
voting
look
to
at it.
start the fine because they haven't done it. That's what we're doing now.
Right, ultimately,
Oh,
just like, my point of view is, this is what we have Tracy for, right, to like, look at it, like, at the end of the day, I mean, if somebody's not responding and they have to submit an ARB. I don't think we need to go and look at her house and say, okay, if it's there, it's there, someone,
Right.
it's just follow the rules, that's all we're asking. We're talking about a month, or 2 months almost, like, it's ridiculous.
Tara, I agree with Joe. If it's something more serious, like, foreclosure or something like that, then I think we would need to take a look, this is my personal feeling, and take a step back. But I don't think fining at a level of $100 per day
It's
is,
a maximum fine of 1,000 now. That's it.
It's not.
That's
By law.
by law.
Yeah.
For each.
I would like to.
No,
look
that
at it.
changed. That's
I mean-
definitely them changed that. It's any
John,
limit.
I think, I personally think that.
So this was the initial
Maximum.
fence?
I thought the maximum
Oh.
This year,
was $1,000.
Per event, or
This,
Now-
this year.
No, for
This-
the.
It's
This
now,
was
it's now a white picket fence.
So
It was
you have-
solid?
You can
It
fine
was.
her up to a
They
maximum.
removed that?
They removed it and put in a white picket
is
fence.
this the front yard?
Fence.
This is the front yard.
But you got no response from them?
I get a lot of
That's
response.
the way I read it, but I'm not a lawyer.
But they haven't gotten an ARB.
They're not sent it to them,
But we wouldn't
It's
approve
capped
the
at
ARB for a
$1,000.
picket fence either.
because we don't allow vinyl white.
right, so it's,
What was the other alternative?
No, you can't put a picket
You
fence.
can't have a fence visible from the street.
Okay.
And
and
still
you
not
can't
white
close
vinyl.
anything except your pool.
White vinyl.
And then there's, I guess the bush was back behind the fence, before the fence. And
So they removed the bushes?
they removed the bush, which it was maintenance, really not a big deal. But then the installation,
Are they putting
It's absolutely worth it.
are they putting more bushes?
Or
can I
it's
just?
really bad.
the installation of the fence and the paver area, it's like a patio.
Joe?
If you've spoken to her and they're not responding, then
Yeah, but there's a lot of things.
I
don't
motion
wanna go
that we send them to fine.
Okay, I would second that motion for discussion. So now we're in discussion. Tara has an opinion for discussion that she thinks she wants to see it first, right? Or no?
Yeah.
We contact them? Well, she said Tracy did already.
She said
You have it
Tracy
right
has,
here.
but there's a lot of things that need to be.
I don't want to have to do this on everything that's found by the property manager.
I would suggest.
Oh, here's the new fence.
Hold on, no comments right now, please. Can we wait? Is that all right?
The board ever considered sending a letter to
We've
the
set-
person saying the board has voted that you're in violation, and we will begin fining you as of this day if this is not removed. So give them an option.
Give them 7 days.
Well, they need to be
Okay.
notified
Well, if
14
you give
days.
them.
Oh, so we
you
have to
give them a
14 days
recognition
anyway.
letter.
They do
They
that.
are legally notified.
Hold on, we may have that
Fine
covered.
starts running when? 14 days?
So, no, so the board would agree to fine them. We would notify them, give them a 14-day notice. There's a hearing if they want to come and argue it. If the committee agrees to fine them, then the fine starts the first day of the violation.
Oh, so it would be backdated.
January, yes.
Oh, in January.
However, if it is cured, I mean, there's some other legalities. and stuff,
Yeah, so Jay, how long do they have to cure the fine or the issue from, let's say, tonight?
Once they're notified, I'll have to look, I'm not sure if it is at any time before the fine is applied. Then all the works.
So Tracy, I may be reading this incorrectly.
Hello,
but
this is Monica Gupta. I'm
In
in for the, I think,
Oh, wait, hold on.
hello, this is Monica Gupta. My apologies for joining late.
This is the homeowner.
I didn't hear what you said, Sherry, but the homeowner's daughter's on the call now.
This is the daughter. Hi, Monica. We can hear you.
Hi.
I'm on.
Yes, hello. So I mentioned to Tracy that this is not a structural, it's an Amazon fence that's, you just stake it to the ground and you can pull it up. It's meant for, when children play, it can be removed. It's not structural and therefore I complied with what Tracy wanted originally, which there was a fence that was tall, but we removed it and just put Amazon little stakes down there so that the children and the dog don't run onto the street when they're playing on the swing set.
That's still a fence.
Is
But
it?
it's not a fence. Pursuant to the statute, a fence has to be structural. This is not structural. This is literally like, you can pull it out right now. It's a stake. It's not, it's like a $12 like a $12 border that they sell on Amazon. In fact, people use it for around their plants or trees.
Without association, it's gonna remain
And
in place.
Right, so I would say that
Whether
if
it's
she's taking it
removable or
out,
not.
like daily, right? Like, they're playing, like.
I can take it out daily. My kids stop playing around 8.
It's staying put. It's a fence.
Okay, so Monica, you're saying you can take it out daily and then,
I can take it out daily. The kids stop playing around 8. I could do that if that's what the homeowners want. I mean, it's literally just a stake in the ground. I can pull up the pursuant from, at least when I read with the Florida statutes, is that anything that is structural, meaning that it needs cement, it needs to be, it can't be above 6 feet. This is not even permanent. This is literally an Amazon purchase.
But Monica, the board has to look at what is objectionable to your neighbors and people driving by,
Okay.
and the way our docs are written. I haven't seen it. I'm hearing comments that it is objectionable.
Why don't you take a look at it, just because if you can see it, it's mainly for protection of young children, because the problem is it's if you look at it, it's no more than 5 feet long, 6 feet long. It's not high at all. It's less than 3 feet. It's not permanent, and it's literally meant to block, because our kids access now the sides of the doors. It's to prevent them from running from the back door to the front, because they're 1 and 2 to running onto the street. And I would hope that our neighbors would see that, 1, it's not permanent. 2, that there's children in the neighborhood. They would realize that safety trumps more than anything. If what they believe is obstructive, which I definitely don't think it is. And I think that if you take a look at it before making a decision, that would be better off. Why don't you come check it out before taking testimonial evidence? Why don't you physically look at it?
I understand. I'm not unsympathetic to safety. Just so you understand, the way the rules are now, you would have a right to appeal a fine, but if the grievance committee upholds the fine, that fine would be applicable from the date of the first offense, which I understand is back in January.
Well, that's incorrect. The first offense that Tracy indicated was due to a 6-foot fence, which we took down. In the entirety of the time, and I have text communications that I indicated to her. She indicated to me, pursuant to the text messages, and I showed her that I was going to put this Amazon stake purchase, or the Amazon. I took down what she asked me to take down. That is gone.
And I also asked you to submit an ARB for the fence that you installed.
The ARB is not, okay, so here's the thing. When I read the bylaws and I read the Coral Springs and Florida statutes, a fence is required when there is requirement of cement and structural. This is literally a stake in the ground. Can be pulled up. Why don't you look at it? And what you asked me to take down, if you're asking for the first grievance, which was in January, that was resolved.
Okay, but you said that this, I think this kind of changes things. She's saying that she can take the fence out.
But she's not taking the fence out.
I can take it down. If you want, I can. I just haven't because my kids at 8 o'clock go back in and they go back out in the morning at 7 a.m. to play. If you want me to take in and out, I can.
No,
But
I mean, you're looking at a 40-foot, 30-foot fence here that I'm seeing in a picture. Is that correct?
that's incorrect. It's not 30 feet. If I can send you a photo of it right now, that's incorrect. Why don't I text you guys what it looks like? That's incorrect.
We're looking at a picture right now. There's a car in front of it, a gray, blue car, SUV. And it looks to me like
That's an old photo. That's an old photo, and that's what was taken down. That's not what's there.
this is the picket fence. Is there a third version besides the solid one was taken down?
Yes, that's taken down. That's old.
But this is a picket fence.
She's saying that's taken down.
The picket fence is taken down?
Yeah, hold on. Which fence? Show me which photo you have. Why don't I send you guys a photo of what's up there right now?
Let me see the camera.
I'm gonna move myself on. Until,
Can you look at this?
she's gonna have to submit.
Yeah, that's what I have right now, and that can be removed up and down, and that's not 40 feet. That's 9 feet, or that's not 9 feet. And I can show you. I can
It's
send.
A car is 9 feet.
It's at least 30 feet long. I don't understand. You're looking at the same thing. So you're agreeing this is what's there now?
That's there right now. Yes, sir. And it can be removed. It's not permanent. I can remove it. What it is, it's
you're making an argument for. I understand you're making an argument for permanent or not. Even if you take up this 20 to 30 foot fence or whatever you say it is every day, your neighbors still look at it all day long.
Well, here's one other thing that I forgot to tell you. Two things. I'm putting shrubs in front of it. If you want me to, I can put shrubs there. I can put privacy hedges there if you would like. And then two, I already talked to Tracy. I'm going to fill out an HOA to get approval to extend my driveway because we have a multi-generational family and it's going to be a very small pathway. So I could, if you want, by the end of this week, there could be privacy, small, short hedges that can cover that.
This is beyond before anything is done. I'm not going to tell you. Do things by committee here, and we do things following our bylaws. We do things on behalf of the community. Yes, we're coming into this new, but Tracy is a constant here. She's been involved in this, as you know, from January 31st, it looks like.
But I complied to what Tracy had asked me to take down, and that's what we took down.
But she asked you to put up an ARB, put an ARB. Are you saying an ARB is not required for a temporary structure? Is that your argument?
That is my argument.
Okay. You're defining temporary in the fact that it could be taken down easily without concrete.
Correct. It's an Amazon $12 purchase fence that can be removed up and down. Now, if it is an eyesore to the community, I can easily put up privacy hedges up there that will do exactly the same function.
Okay, can you submit an ARB, Monica?
Yes, I can do that one, and I'll have it by tomorrow. I'll have it done for you.
And the hedges.
Obviously, the hedges have to be included. They're going to hide this, do everything else.
That's fine. I can do that.
Do you have a way to not put the fence up anymore until this ARB is approved?
I can do that. My only issue is that I have a 1 and 2-year-old child, and my husband and I work. And if the child goes out and they sneak out, they know how to open the doors. My fear is they're going to run onto the street, which they've been doing that. My son has been hiding behind cars. And that's the reason what was propelling this whole thing was that he's been hiding behind the cars, and we have not been able, we drive SUVs. That's what propelled this whole thing.
Okay, I'm not going to even attempt to argue with you about whether children should be allowed unsupervised or whether they could climb this fence even if it's 6 feet tall or anything else. But please, for now, if you'll accept it, just don't put the fence up until you submit and get an ARB approved. Is that acceptable for now?
Okay, so.
Sure. What happens if I get the ARP filled out and I can can I have the gardener put ARP or put the fences? Yeah, I can put within 72 hours, I can put hedges on.
Can we do? Can we give it 7 days, it's done, and if not, then it starts ticking in.
I think that's fair.
That's
Yeah.
possible, we can just
Yeah.
vote
We'll-
within 7 days if we don't have the ARB and it's not approved.
We'll give you,
guys take it down.
please don't put the fence up for 7 days.
Submit an
God
ARB.
forbid- Hopefully you can find something to keep your children inside or whatever, but submit an ARB and you, in 7 days, we're proposing, you submit it, we will promise to give it quick approval or disapproval. We can't guarantee it, but you need
Okay.
something to show that the fence is not visible from the road, whether it's temporary or permanent. I don't think temporary is gonna fly here.
Okay, so I'll submit it within 24 hours, and then in there I'll include the hedges, and in the interim I'll remove it tomorrow.
We have work tomorrow. How are you gonna move it?
There's
I know,
also
I'll-
some pavers, I understand,
Also papers.
part of the same ARB,
Just get it all in at once.
any new construction.
You can.
You don't
okay.
need 24 hours. You can do that, well,
They're giving you
No, I
7
just-
days. They're giving you, we're gonna give you 7 days, Monica.
I know. I'm just gonna get it done just because that way my kids can still play outside, and not hide behind cars. I would get it done so that way I can get approved.
all right. We are not insensitive to that, but please don't put the fence up until you get an approval and the work is done to hide this thing.
Okay, but how can I take it down if the work is to hide it? I mean, the whole purpose of the hedge is, it is removable, but I can't, if you're gonna put hedges, they need to grow with a leaning support. So if you want me to take down the fence and then also put the hedges at the same time, am I getting approval right now to put the hedges?
I'll tell you this right now, Mike, you would not get approval to put in 24-inch high hedges. You would have to put in hedges at the full height to hide the fence.
But
be approved.
so,
You can't
so
wait for it to grow.
to be fair, there's people in our neighborhood who do have hedges that are privacy hedges that are beyond 24 inches in height. In fact, or even my own neighbor has hedges that are above
Monica, I
6.
think you understood it wrong. I think what John said is
They need to be
that-
6 foot.
they need to be high enough to hide the
High enough
fence.
to hide the fence.
Initially, when you initially install it.
Okay, that's fine. I can definitely do that tomorrow. I'll get hedges installed that are above the
No,
fence.
please don't install anything until you get approval. You know,
So you submit the ARB,
to make sure it's clear, it has to be in writing with photos, layouts, show where the hedges are, show the height, type of material, everything on the ARB. Then it's our responsibility as the board to approve or disapprove before you do any work. If you start work without the ARB,
That's the violation.
that's a
that's the
violation.
violation.
You're already in violation, and we're trying to be accommodating.
Okay.
All right.
So the motion to suspend is you.
So 7 days, I changed the motion.
Yes, change it, Joe.
Change the motion to, suspend for 7 days, and if after 7 days it's not approved, then you serve the fines. Or send her to hearing for the fines.
Okay, so that's it.
You'd have somebody else.
I will second.
Does anybody else approve? No?
All those in favor? Aye. 5, motion carries 5. Thank you for coming on, Monica.
Thank you.
But just a comment, if I can, John, just in terms of just a matter for consideration is as to the start date of the fine. If you make it retroactive,
No, we don't wanna do that.
well,
Well,
that's
that's
the
what
way-
our procedure
that's the way
is.
you're-
You know, we're having people look at all these procedures. That may be something to look at. We're coming up on 2 hours.
We're hoping that this gets done.
But it needs to be covered by these rules people are slow. They haven't got this done yet.
I had to get committees with people on it first.
Okay.
Just because I've got the rules already written doesn't mean that.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
So if I can summarize the next one.
Yes, please.
For the default collections, those listed here are the ones as of 4/1 will be 90 days. All have received their notice of default already, advising of our collection procedures as they currently stand. There's also another one here, number 6, review of the small balances that was given you. Those are those under $200. Most of those are late fees, short payments, or NSF fees. For the most part, policy has always been anything over $500 goes to collections once it exceeds, a certain time limit.
90 days in this case,
Well, yeah,
at least.
at least, depending on when we hold meetings. So for those that are generally under $200, if someone has, if it's a late fee and they've never had a late fee waived and they request to have one waived, generally we will accommodate that. That is not the case on any of these. So you guys need to determine if you want these fees and charges to remain on the accounts or what you want to do with them and how you would like to proceed on these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 collections.
Can you read the names of the people that are over 90 days?
No, we won't do that.
Is it posted on the website?
There's
Why not? We're all,
reference,
it's association business.
there's
It's
reference
password
on the
protected, and
agenda.
We're part of it, we're members. Why can't you post it?
I think
It
they
can be-
post a
it can
lot
be
number.
posted, but not, we don't have to read it.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna read it out of the
Okay, so
meeting.
it'll be posted?
Yeah, it always should.
It's
be,
always
So
posted.
you know who it
It's
is.
noted on the agenda that was posted,
The names?
not the physical names.
You
no.
can figure
Well,
that,
not 5 or 6, I want lot numbers then.
Mike, you can figure it out from what's posted. We just don't want to blatantly state it. You know what I mean?
The names are actually posted every month with the accounting.
So I can go to the portal
You
and find
can,
it?
On the
Okay.
financials.
except
under
the financials
aging
are always
report.
like 3 months late, so just saying.
So can we, what if we, people are under
No, they're
200,
not doing it.
we just leave it on the account, but not send them to.
Yeah, let's kick that down the road.
Just leave it
Okay, so
for now.
That's number 6.
All right.
Number 1 through 5.
Right, 1 through 5, yeah.
What are you doing with 1 through 5?
I motion that we do send them to.
They've already got the letter, and the next step is sending them to collections. Is that an attorney?
Yes.
So what will the attorney do?
I don't know. Because we
Start the collection
Starts the
process.
collection process, sends
Which is what?
collection letter.
Hang on.
So he sends a letter.
What I sent already.
So he does, we've sent a letter, he sends another letter. It's a little more weight because from an attorney. And then there's another 30 days or so. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's do that. Until we change the rules, we follow the rules. This is what we're paid to do. Sorry, we're really not paid. If anybody believes that.
So do you want to motion that?
You motion.
I motioned it already, okay. So then, second.
All those, any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of sending the first 5 to collections, say aye. Aye. Tara, did you vote?
Yeah.
I know, but you have to
Oh,
vote.
on my.
Okay, unanimous. Thank you.
We're gonna start to run out of time in a
Yeah,
half
you're
hour.
Okay.
Zoom platform, this seems to work. I'm happy. It worked without the microphone, so we'll try this again next time.
Okay.
They'll skip that one. HOA sponsored social media platform, WhatsApp, et cetera. We had a 4-minute presentation that Octavia wanted to do on a website. We're out of time for our room.
Oh, we have till 10.
Oh, we can go over it. Oh, okay. Octavia, are you ready to make a presentation?
Sure, I'm still here.
Can I let you share your screen?
Absolutely.
Can everybody hear?
I think you can just do it. I don't think I need to.
It says the host isn't allowing multiple presenters, so you gotta let me present.
Thank you. Let me see if I see it on your thing. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to temporarily make you the host
Okay, no problem.
because I don't see another way.
Okay.
Don't do anything to make me regret it.
Too late for that, buddy. No, I'm just joking. All righty. Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All
I'm
righty.
gonna move my chair. Can you guys all see this on your screens?
Yeah.
You have your own screens?
I can see.
All right, wonderful. Well, I appreciate your time. I'm not gonna take too long because I know we're already over time as it is.
Just let me introduce this to the group that's here and anyone online. Octavia has spent quite a bit of time putting together a proposed community website that would do a lot of different things. She's gonna have time to explain it now. Go ahead, sorry.
All right, sure. Hold on one second. Let me just get back to my Um, There we are. All right, so let me. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. I'm not going to be before you long. John has graciously given me 4 minutes to present, so I will try my best to get through this as fast as I can. So I want to introduce to you guys the Whispering Woods Community.com, a new resident-driven communication hub for Whispering Woods residents. Let's see if it'll let me. Okay, so there's a problem in our community. Residents are struggling to stay informed due to the lack of clear, accessible information. HOA meetings like today are experiencing low attendance and minimal resident engagement. Yes, there's a WhatsApp chat, but unfortunately, there's no organized discussions, and everything just disappears in these long chat threads that we see all the time. The HOA portal is there, but really it's not a website. It's more like a payment portal or a document portal. And it can be really confusing and difficult to navigate, especially for people that are not tech savvy. And trying to navigate through all those folders and finding information just really gets very challenging. As we all know, there's no community amenities per se in our community. There's no activities and there's no budget for events. So it makes it really challenging to create community amongst our neighbors. There's no official HOA newsletter. There's not much communication other than emails that are sent from our property manager. And all of this leads to misinformation and really has led to division within our community. And unfortunately, many of our neighbors just really don't know each other. So I have created a solution. Well, let me go back. I'm sorry. Part of the problem also is that as homeowners, there is supposed to be community communications. It is in our property manager's agreement that she's supposed to be publishing a newsletter, but she can't publish a newsletter if there's no content provided by the association and people are not engaging. So that's a problem for us all. So I have come up with a solution for our community, a structured, user-friendly platform for residents to connect, to access HOA updates, community news, and to communicate with each other and engage on our terms without all the distractions of social media. Not everybody has Facebook, not everybody has WhatsApp. And so an easy to navigate, searchable hub with information for our community is what I want to present to you guys today.
Hello, Whispering Woods neighbors. Are you tired of endless WhatsApp messages? Struggling to find important updates buried in emails or lost in long Facebook threads? Wish there was a better way to connect with your neighbors without all the noise? Well, we heard you, and we have the solution. Introducing www.community.com, a private, secure, and interactive platform designed exclusively for our community, by our community. Now, stay connected with your neighbors without the distractions of mainstream social media. Everything you need to stay informed, engaged, and connected in Whispering Woods. Stay in the loop with real-time updates. No more missed messages. Get community news, lost and found alerts, and important HOA announcements, all in one place, without cluttering your inbox or getting buried in group chats. Engage and connect with your neighbors. Want to meet new people, ask for recommendations, or share ideas? Join our resident forums and interest groups to connect with neighbors who share your interests. Love reading, fitness, or DIY projects? Looking for other families with small kids for play dates? There's a group for everyone. Safety and security. Receive real-time safety alerts, report concerns, and stay informed about security updates from your neighbors. Meet your neighbors with our Neighbor Spotlight. Each month, we feature different residents of Whispering Woods, so you can get to know the amazing people who make our neighborhood special. Can't make it to an HOA meeting? No problem. Watch HOA meetings live directly from the website. No need to download Zoom or any other software. Our website is designed to be inclusive for our diverse community. It automatically translates into multiple languages, ensuring that every resident can be connected, no matter their preferred language. Check out these exclusive features made just for Whispering Woods residents. Marketplace. Need a handyman, babysitter, or landscaper? Browse trusted services recommended by your neighbors. real estate section. Stay updated on home values, homes for sale, and rental listings, all right here in Whispering Woods. Own a business or provide a service? Showcase it in the www.community.com business directory and let your neighbors know what you offer. It's a great way to connect and support within our community. New to the neighborhood? Our Welcome Committee is here to help you settle in with all the must-know details from friendly neighbors. Don't miss out. Join us. We are neighbors. We are friends. Together, we are the Whispering Woods community.
Very nice.
All right, well, thank you so much for watching that. All right, thank you. So what are the benefits to the HOA? Well, there's no extra work. Even though communication and newsletters, like I said, is the responsibility of our property manager, without the input of the association, there's nothing for her to write about. So this website is pretty much financially self-sustaining. Our goal is to have in the business directory a very small nominal fee for businesses to advertise on our site, and that will cover the cost of hosting and security, and to basically keep the site going. The site is extremely secure. It's already equipped with an SSL encryption, firewall protection, and automatic moderation. So there's no liability for the HOA. The HOA will not own or manage the site. It will remain an independent site owned by the community. Again, it will help improve communication and transparency in the community, and I think really just bring us together. As of this morning, this is our security grade from GoDaddy. We got an A+. Our firewalls are activated, our security monitoring and our backups are all activated. So this again is a very, very secure site. There is community moderation already in place, so members are able to block people if they want to. There's already automatic moderation in place, so if you use certain profanity or certain words, it will automatically flag them. And then if a person is reported multiple times, then they're automatically suspended. Users have the ability to allow what they want to be shown, so if you don't want anyone to see your phone number, you can block it, or you can make it public. That's totally up to the user as well. So what are we asking from the board? We're asking for the board to formally vote and approve the whisperingwoodscommunity.com as the official community website for the community by the community. We would like the association to share documents or announcements similar to like today, the Zoom meetings that we can post on our website for people to be able to go back and watch them. I do know that Tracy sends out the information in an email, but unfortunately after a couple of days, the Dropbox expires and then you can't go back and watch the meeting, and then you've got to kind of send her another email, and it just becomes frustrating for people that just want to do things on their own time. We would like to also have a board liaison designated to help us to fact check information. I know we're going to do the rules committee, which is really important. But again, just making sure that any updates that we post are accurate and information is correct. And ultimately just help us to share the website within the community, right? When new people are moving in, just basically sharing this as a resource for the community that brings us together. That's ultimately the goal for me, and I think for everyone else that's involved. And we just really want to see unity in our community. Thank you. I know my 4 minutes are up, so I'm not going to keep talking unless you guys have questions.
I have a lot of questions, but I don't want to prolong the meeting anymore on this. I think we need to let it digest. Okay, do we have the link to look at this on our own?
I have given every single board member a demo site. I sent them emails and a password to go into it. I believe everyone except maybe you and Drew may have had a chance to look at it already. And there's probably over 30 members already in the community that have already logged in and started engaging on the site. So it's pretty interactive already.
I think, John, there's two couple of different ways that this can be approached. One is that I think Navy has done an outstanding job in developing a site that essentially could be marketed to other organizations. It's that well done. It is top-notch site for potential use by an association. Now, it can be one that's endorsed and we define what endorsement means. Endorsed by the board, or if not endorsed, there's nothing to stop, in essence, this site being rolled out. It can be a totally community-based, resident-led or directed site, but I don't think that that's what what Octavia is trying to accomplish. She's trying to accomplish some supplemental site and communication vehicle that enhances, I think, the interaction of the board and residents throughout. So I think that's.
She's also looking for an endorsement, right?
I agree,
she wants
because
a
we're not gonna
board
endorse it, I
member
agree.
involved. She
This-
wants to make sure it's moderated.
We allocated time for the presentation,
Yeah.
and I think we just need to leave it at that for now.
Yeah, we need to talk about it.
We need to discuss it. But Octavia, a lot of heads nodding. Looks good. Nice job on this.
I mean,
Wanna know.
so what, when you say that, like, so we're not when you're saying, okay, so when you're saying about the website, okay, we need time to digest it. I mean, it speaks for itself. So why are we not giving her an endorsement now? You're saying the next meeting you want to give her an endorsement, or?
I can answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think, A, you need to talk to legal department and see if that's something that we should be endorsing any site or, that's, because there's a couple of questions I had regarding like who owns the site, who doesn't own the site, what endorsement can mean or not mean, what can get posted and what kind of responsibility we may have if we endorse a site. So I think, like, if there's any sort of liability that can be incurred there, like there's questions that we need to, the five of us,
Thank you
ask,
for all your hard work.
and then maybe bring that over to our legal or whoever will hire legal.
I
Say,
agree.
hey,
There's
are these
questions.
questions like are
100%.
these valid? And then we can say if there's no problem with that, then we can decide. Okay.
Yeah,
This
Tara,
Okay,
it's not prudent to endorse it today. We can't do that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is on her own, I mean, because people are
there's-
joining the site.
So there's
Exactly.
no
Already,
reason
so-
why
Right.
she can't. And that's I told her this.
Oh.
Anybody can start any website that they want.
Right.
The question is, it's just whether we say this is official, officially endorsed site. That's the question. But she can start a site if she wants.
You can define endorsement
Right.
any way you want to
So-
define it. So that's left to the board.
Yeah.
That's
I agree.
It's not a no. It's not a no at all. It's just we need to do it right. As Joe
But
points out.
essentially, that site can run on its own. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody, we can't tell anybody they can't run the site.
Can
Right, I mean,
can I
We're not
try to
gonna-
clarify maybe the ask a little bit? Because I think maybe there might be a little bit of when I say like support from the board, for example, on the website, John, there's a section where under HOA information, the rules and regulations that are on the website, like there's already a link for the portal, right? So a lot of people have called me in the past and said, hey, I can't get on the site. What is the portal? So there's already a link there. So there's not an endorsement needed for someone to find the link, like that's already there. But what is helpful, which would help the community, for example, is when you click on like Zoom link, for example, there's an ability to watch the meeting live without having to log in and do all this extra stuff. For people that may not be computer savvy, right? So ultimately, it's not that we want endorsement or money from the board or anything like that. It's really just support. Like if I call Tracy, I'm like, hey, Tracy, can you send me, a document that I can post, then I can share it with the community and we'll have access to information faster, right?
All right, Octavia,
that's
hold
what we're
on just a
asking
minute.
for.
I got it. We got it. It's nice. It looks good, but we need to talk about this. all right?
Okay.
Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, we're not even going to try to stop you. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Do you want to take back control of the screen?
Yeah, you probably got to give it to me. I don't even know how that
Thank
works.
you, Octavia.
Thanks, Octavia.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. And I would appreciate if you guys at least let me interview you. I did send each one of the board members interview questions.
Things are slowing down. We'll get to. I think you need to send it back to me, please.
Okay, thank you.
Did we go over the HOA sponsored social media platforms, WhatsApp, all that?
We kind of skipped it for now.
And obnoxious handyman.
Well, we can get, I mean, the WhatsApp chat, are we gonna go over that?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get I'm waiting to get
So
the
you
host,
need the
but you give me the
handyman,
host yet?
You need the handyman.
Octavia, I still need the post. You're muted.
And handyman.
Okay, I stopped sharing. How do I do that? Okay, hold on, here we go.
It's under host tools.
Okay, and then how do I give it back to you? Let's see.
Click on my picture
Isn't this HOA sponsored social media the same thing?
and hit the three
Isn't
dots.
that the same thing she's?
Oh, okay.
No, I think what it was it was,
There's two different.
from my understanding, was the WhatsApp that was discussed was like an HOA WhatsApp
Yeah, like where you.
for homeowners with the board.
You're talking about the WhatsApp, is that we're on now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I would like is a way to send a quick
A mass
message,
message, I agree.
like a quick message to the owners. Not that they have to log on to a website or not that it's a text or an email, just people that want to opt into a WhatsApp. We can do it. There's a, hey, remember there's a community event the 15th, or hey, board meeting coming up, or don't forget to do this, kind of things. And people can exchange ideas on there as well.
I would say that, I agree with getting a message. I think you put restrictions on replying. I would keep it not a public discussion channel or like an announcement channel. Because, then I don't know, like you're monitoring what people are saying, not saying like, that's the only thing I would have concern on. The only reason I say that is, we have, Kat has that Facebook group. You wouldn't have, the amount of times that it's like, hey, you're not following the rules here, so it's like, it just becomes a hassle. But I do agree as far as getting, like, if we need to send, like, for the meetings, right? Like, I have no problem. I think that's great. If people do that.
See, I disagree. I don't think there needs to be a chat. I think that you have access to, like, people's email. It's just like one more chat, and I think we're trying to get away from that whole chat thing. You don't know, the archive.
Chat,
No, I'm saying like.
Email is controlled by the property manager and should be.
Right.
That
But
shouldn't be something we do.
I just think another WhatsApp would be WhatsApp.
You say another WhatsApp. I have none. What do you have that you're saying another one?
Another WhatsApp chat?
Yeah, what do you mean another?
You
I
have
don't
no,
have
you
any-
have no chat?
I have
group?
nothing within the community.
Well, you got off of the main, I just got the main one,
You got the main, you had
That's
all
all I'm
these.
on. Everything else I
Yeah,
got.
all these
I was
chats.
kicked off that. I was kicked off all the chats.
John, all you're saying is you want another vehicle to make announcements.
Yes,
I agree with making announcements.
Yeah.
I just would say
Somehow.
less
something like
community,
that.
just like,
And
I don't want to be like chatting back and forth with like, no, I disagree with this, right? That's.
I think
don't
you
know
would
if we
have
can
to
get
have
into that.
approval for everyone's phone number as well.
That's
Well, if,
That part, once you do a chat.
if
then
the
people
board is gonna
don't-
gonna wanna do something like that, you can obviously send out an email blast, maybe with the link to this
Yes,
and blah, blah,
that's
blah,
the
blah,
other
blah,
one.
and say,
Join
hey,
it, Jerome.
if you would like to get WhatsApp alerts for upcoming meetings, upcoming this, news going on, gate closures, you can log into this WhatsApp.
I think we can start with, if WhatsApp allows a one-way communication, I don't mind starting
does.
with that.
It does.
I'm not totally on board with disallowing back and forth communication. Like if someone wants to message the board quickly. I don't know.
But
you can control what, like, so if somebody, I guess what I'm saying is, if somebody's sending a message out to a huge group of people, and you're not, let's say, nobody can see that, you don't know what somebody can put out, right? And like, so I don't think being associated with that is, I would say like take baby steps, right?
Yeah.
Like let's announce. and then
Let's
maybe
do that. Let's
that's-
try
I'm
to
okay
do
with
that.
that, I guess.
Okay.
Plus you might need Terrace and then opt in to use their phone.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah.
And then
Oh,
I-
definitely.
one way.
One more other thing is, like I know with the chat that I started, people that I know turn off their notifications. Because they just don't want to.
That's fine.
I mean, I
That's
know,
on them.
I know
That's
for
on
a
them.
fact that a lot of
That's
the
them.
email
That's their
blasts
decision.
that I send out, the e-blast, because I send them on BCC 200 and something people
Sure.
at a time. People already have their spam set up for the emails regardless of who they're from, but like
Right.
that,
You can't control that.
it automatically goes
Yeah,
to
you
trash.
can.
So there's tons of people that never get an
Okay,
email.
I was going to ask you that. Okay, okay, let's take two steps. I want to come back to the email. But I would vote to investigate if WhatsApp or something has this one-way feature that people can opt into so that we can send messages to the community
Yeah,
is the board.
they have it. I've used it. I've
Okay,
used it.
so-
I'm a soccer coach, and I think.
So you're
I post out
seconding that
schedules and stuff.
on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I think majority of the residents have WhatsApp.
Yeah,
Or
I
they
think
can.
the majority of
They
the
don't, whatever,
residents,
right?
but
I
I
think
just,
majority, even the old school ones, they got WhatsApp.
Especially for family out of the country.
Out of the
you
country.
know, Tara, I don't know why you're objecting, because this isn't a legal notification. This is just an add-on
but I
to what
just
the
think
email
that right
is.
now we have a lot going on, and I think a lot of people are gonna use this, the communication website. And I
That,
just
this
think-
email is nothing
the
like what I'm
website.
asking. It's nothing like what
No,
we're
I
asking.
understand, like, you want
It's different.
notification,
It's different, yeah.
but I think,
You don't want the board to be able to send out
I think
messages to all
professionally, the
their-
board has access of other ways doing it than
What other
another.
ways are you talking about?
As far as sending, you can send a quick email. or
Without an email,
notification.
without an email. Email is the property manager. I'm talking about something the board can send out.
Okay,
each of
so you're
us.
gonna ask people if they wanna opt into it then?
Yeah. Absolutely,
So people would have to actually say, okay, I wanna be a part of the,
that's
Did
correct.
you join it or don't join
Okay.
it? Disagree.
That's what I'm saying.
But you could.
I think the right part is the legal part. We have to go through legal on this because
So
I'm
what
not
you-
saying I'm all for it. I'm 100% all
What
for
we're
it.
talking about, which is.
For the
Website.
website.
Website, yeah, that's.
I'm on the website. I'm just talking about. the
Especially
website.
since it's not
WhatsApp,
controlled, it's not
I mean-
controlled by us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
need to find out if who's gonna be controlling it, because like it says, legally, we can't have something and somebody say something on the website and they get offended. So we don't wanna get in a legal battle with that.
So do we have to motion for anything here or not? Like, I'm just making sure.
Well, you seem to know how to set this up, right? You've done it for soccer, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So
just,
what's that?
Thanks, Jeff.
do we need to vote
Do you
on
want-
it? Yes, I vote that we set up some type of a one-way notification
Joe,
to
wait a
walk before
second.
we run to
Okay,
do
I'll
this.
second.
Hey, John, I just sent you a text
Oh.
message in the chat on a one-way app that's very, very productive called Remind. If you're just looking for a one-way, like to be able to communicate to the community without sharing everybody's information,
Yeah, that's what
they
the
don't even
schools
have to
use.
opt in. You could just put everybody's number in, everybody's email, and then you send out blast text messages, but at least it's safe and people don't respond to everybody
That's
else.
true.
because
Yeah, we
That's
use
what
that
the
at the
issue is
schools.
with WhatsApp.
Either way.
Right.
But the
Thanks,
point is,
thanks,
I
that's a
get
good
you.
idea. All right, let's just say vote. We're gonna do something like
Yes.
that. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Oh, good.
John, what you could do,
got me.
Okay,
real quick, John, on that, what you could do, John, when we're doing a new homeowner orientation, we can get a checklist. How do you want to be communicated to?
sure.
No, smart.
Smart move.
Yeah,
But I
Right
mean,
out there.
it's gonna help
Can we do
you,
the,
we're talking about people, existing homeowners.
Oh, we'll do that as well. of
Handyman.
course. But the new
But
ones-
new ones,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
I think
handyman.
that.
New business, any new business?
Well, so if you don't mind, as far as the handyman stuff, I think, because there's a lot of stuff that handyman can do.
Right.
Are either of these handymen capable of doing it? Let me send you a list.
Okay, I have two, which I did,
Uh-huh.
I had 6 of them I had. Somebody said they had 2 others. I didn't get anything, but
Do you do it by project or by hour?
So
Well,
theirs is hour.
theirs is hours.
So because there's
But
been a
what
lot
I
of
looked at
things.
both of these, the Shamtech and the Kali, the Shamtech guy, they both of them have all licenses. I mean, I didn't print up all the licenses, but they got all the licenses and everything with the state and whatnot, liability and everything. The only benefit I like about the money situation is a little bit cheaper with the Cali one because he's local. Remember when you call, it starts the call time. He's from, the Shamtech is in West Palm, Green Acres. These are both of my customers at my stations.
Yeah.
So if I've and I've used Cali for my home already, one project. Clean, efficient, boom, he was good to go. Shamtech, the reason I've seen him, he does a lot of, his employees are big. They do shopping centers and that. I really didn't want to push towards him, but his rates it was only like $15 off.
Yeah.
But I would,
But you have that travel time, right?
the travel time. So you'd rather stick with the local guy
Just
who's
let me
in
ask you
Margate,
this.
and he does
It's just
from,
$150 an hour seems like a lot for a handyman. Is that what you
That's what I was worried.
pay for a license?
don't-
handyman?
well, that's what they're doing. I mean, you can find somebody cheaper.
Yeah,
Well, that's the normal.
License.
yeah.
Okay, so that's
That's
excessive.
average.
That is average.
That is
Yeah.
average.
And it's licensed and he's insured. All of them are, I had two other guys that were like $350.
The problem that we have is that the stuff that
It's
needs to
not-
be done is very time consuming and tedious, that the problem we're having is there's no contractors that want to do it. And
Okay,
then.
okay,
it's
so
too-
on, okay, so on
it's
that,
too big for
on
the
that,
smaller guys
on
to do.
Cali, he is willing, because I did ask him about like, we got a roof leak, just saying.
Right.
Or something, or toilet bust.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
toilet
yeah, that
bust.
kind of
I
stuff
said
is
I
great.
want, you're
But
gonna
like-
give me a one flat bill for that? Like, you're not gonna charge me $1,000 to change the toilet. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
He's willing to do that. He's not gonna do the
That would be
hour.
good. That would be good.
Yeah, he doesn't want-
Maintenance
he
items
can do
is
both
all of
independent.
the
He
light
said
bulbs and sign
if you want me
poles.
to deal with it, I can deal with it, I can get a one price on it.
Nobody
done.
wants
He
to
was willing to
polish
do
them.
it. And he's willing to,
Nobody
the
wants
weekend, he
to
says,
paint them,
I won't charge you the
to
weekend.
try to like go,
Okay,
you
that's
know,
what-
He said he won't do the
a
weekend.
slower way, and we're out.
So
It's up to you guys.
Solely, no, I like, John, did you heard that? He's willing to transition depending on the project based or hourly based. He won't overcharge.
Sure, that's fine. I would like to
And he has
nominate,
it
we give him a
24
try.
hours.
Why don't we give Callie a try?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt us.
No.
I move that we try Callie, see what happens.
Up to-
Make-
Use your discretion on what you give him to. Second?
I make the motion. Second. Okay.
Tara makes a motion, second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's get together online and find a
Second,
date
I'm
for
sorry.
next meeting. Let's not do it now.
No, I'm not.
Joe? Josh,
Who's
second?
second?
Second.
I did.
Tara made the motion also. All right.
Adjourn 9:58,
All right, do we
motion?
have to put these back?
Motion to adjourn,
Motion.
second,
Tara.
all in favor?
You made it.
Very
It's
good.
always easier right
Thank you,
home.
guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody online.
Thank you.
You need help?
Bye, guys.
John?
Look at the
John?
survivors. There's 3 survivors out there. Oh, one.
Set 'em up, I was hoping